We back? Yeah, we back. We definitely back. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. Drop a like right now. Drop a like. It's free. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the Trigger Mike Show and the illustrious Lapeef Network. Figured I'd jump on today. I had some things to say to get off my chest, you know what I mean? But we definitely gonna get into it. I've sent this link out over Instagram, so we're gonna have plenty of our loyal subscribers and friends of the Trigger Mike Show and the Lapeef Network on this evening. I'm glad to see y'all in the building. Thank you for all of your support. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button. I want a lot of people in on this conversation, man. Uh, the election's getting closer. As of today, it is September 29th, 2024. I believe the election is usually on my birthday. My birthday is November 7th. So plenty of time since I was young. Election day has fallen on my birthday. So it's probably on my birthday again this year, but we'll see. We'll see. Welcome to everybody, man. It was a good Sunday. Hope you had a good weekend, but we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. Let me even go to this old Google document I had. I ain't done the Trigger Mike Show in months. I ain't done it in months. I used to have a groove going. I mean, I'm very professional. I had a whole sheet that would tell me, hey, these are my topics for today and what I needed to do. I gave greetings and thanks. Salute to all the viewers nationwide, international. Like, subscribe, and become a member of the Green Gang. You already know we like money around here, but we also like support. So if you want to show your support to Trigger Mike and the Lapeef Network, please make sure you become a member of the Green Gang. All right. That is how you show your undying, unwavering support to this great network. Please go ahead and do that and show your support all the way. Also, here's what I want you to do. Send this link out to people, man, because this is a topic we need to talk about. Some of y'all know my rhetoric. I've been around here for a few years now. You already know where I'm going with this, but I want to know if you feel the same way. And of course, shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. All right, the link is down in the description. I know you see my skin looking good. All right. And if you want skin like that, I'm not going to show you my under area right here because that kind of flared up a little bit. I don't know what the hell I've been doing with those clippers, but the rest of me looks very well bathed. Skin is popping today. No doubt, no doubt. So shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. Please make sure you click that link and get some of that too. Payday was just 2 days ago. All right. So as always, we got to do some housekeeping around here. All right. Make sure you support the show and send a super chat or a super thanks after the broadcast is over. All right. Let us know your thoughts. Whatever you got brewing, if you want me to read it aloud, please send a super chat and I will read it aloud. This is one of those topics we need to get in on it. All right. So if you're somebody that wants to come in on this topic, what I'll do is I'll drop the link right now. Y'all know I like to start the show with my monologue, give you a little bit of my dialogue, and then we're going to get into it and then chop it up. So I did drop the link. Come through, wait in the back, wait for my monologue to be over. I'm definitely going to let you up. So before we get into all that, I made a little banner and it says, what is my stance on politics? So for those of you that don't know, I am a moderate conservative. And I don't really like when people flat out label you a Republican. Now, if you've been listening to me for a while, you've actually heard me say I used to be a Democrat. That is 1000% true. I was indoctrinated into the party of the Democrats. I thought just because people were black that they were Democrats. I mean, that's just the way it went down. I went to an HBCU, which is what I call a simp indoctrination zone, but more specifically, black colleges are Democrat indoctrination zones. All right. You get inundated and indoctrinated with the ideology of feminism. You do. You do. And all of that stuff that is perfectly aligned with the Democratic Party. So I was naturally a Democrat. I did not have the experiences or a chance to even figure out, even close to it, to align with any other party. So I used to be a Democrat. All right. I voted. My first person I ever voted for was John Kerry, then Barack Obama twice. I even voted for Hillary Clinton. That's how long I was a Democrat. I turned 18 years old the day before election day, a few days before election day in 2004, and I voted for John Kerry. I did. So that's just to give you a little bit of context. Now, I have moved over into being a moderate conservative. What does that mean? There's a lady in Texas that ran for, I don't know, maybe like a state delegate seat. And she used the term, and I think I'm gonna take that term from her. She said she is a common sense conservative. Now you got to understand that that is actually very common. Even people that are extremely liberal, at some point in their life, as they get older, they become more conservative. That doesn't mean they become Republicans or switch parties. What it means is that your ideology, the way you think about life and politics in general, the way you want your life, you know, set up is a bit more conservative than it was when you were young. So that happened to me, of course, but it happened with a little bit greater effect. So when I start to think about what I want for the future of my own family, right? So think about the things that have happened to me. Since I was in college, I moved from Virginia to Houston. I'm sorry. First, before I did that, I joined the military. Then I moved from Virginia to Houston. I got married. I had kids. I bought a home, so on and so forth. These are the type of things that happen to people that make them take their life up, you know, they start thinking differently about life. So I went from being a Democrat, just a straight down the ballot Democrat, to a moderate conservative human being. So I just wanted to start there to give you a little bit of my stance on politics. So you don't think I've been this way. All right. And it's very interesting being somebody of my color when you tell people you are no longer a Democrat and you're not voting that way. And you guys know I haven't always been this articulate with my words and able to express myself and my views, but I'm definitely that guy now. So I find it very funny when I'm talking to people out in the world and they automatically believe that you align with their democratic, liberal, progressive views just because you're black. I always found that to be very funny. And we're going to talk about some of that here tonight. If you're a black man specifically, all right, and you have other thoughts outside of the Democratic Party and you feel like people give you smoke off rip for that, put a one in the chat, man. That's just some of the most diabolical stuff. That's some of the most diabolical stuff. Man, I got to read this. My man Cloud Jones says if you're under 25 and you're not a liberal, you have no heart. And if you're over 35 and you have no conservative and you're not a conservative, you have no brain. Those are some true words, man. Those are some true words, man. Appreciate that. Thank y'all for coming through, my people, my people. Make sure you, hey, look, I need all of y'all. I need all of the eyes on this broadcast. Make sure you share this link out. Click the like button so this shows up in the algorithm for other people to watch on YouTube. This is one of them ones, man, that we really need to get down to the nitty gritty of this. All right. So I just gave you my stance on politics. Let me make another banner here. Why I can't vote for Kamala Harris. And there are going to be some surprises in here because I think people will come into this broadcast with preconceived notions on what I'm about to say. But no, I invite you to chop it up with me, have the conversation, talk to me a little bit. All right. Talk to me a little bit. Now, let's get into it. Why can't I vote for the presidential nominee of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris? Let me start off by saying this, all right? This is not even Kamala Harris's election. It's not. This. Can you say it again? No, Alexa, be quiet. I didn't call you Alexa. All right. But let me tell you why this is not even her election. If she loses, which I think she will, if the election was today, she would lose. She lost, she doesn't even have momentum coming out of the debate. They killed that momentum with Trump's the second person that tried to delete him. Nobody's talking about the debate no more. All right. So it's like, if the election was today, she's going to lose. Obama even thought she was going to lose. All right. So I'm not even making this purely about Kamala Harris. But here's why I can't vote for her. Because I think some people are starting to control the narrative and tell people like myself, who are common sense conservatives, what we should be doing because of the color of our skin and our gender. All right. I have to tell the B-dubs outright, my vote does not belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. I don't owe you anything. I keep telling y'all, we are the leaders. I'm the leader of my house. I vote my own interests, not yours. And we're going to get into that and what that even means to begin with. All right. Kamala Harris can't get my vote because I don't believe she can win. I don't even think she wants to be president. This was dropped in her lap. And that's not a conspiracy theory. This is not her election to win. If she loses, it's Joe Biden losing. He dropped this in her lap at the 13th hour. Lady barely had 4 months to prepare. Everything happening to her right now, all of the work that she's doing, trying to come from behind, I don't think it's enough. But let me get into the real details on why we can kind of talk about these things, because I don't believe many of the women that saying our vote belongs to them. I don't think you understand that we can articulate our reasons for not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. So let me explain this to you. The lack of hetero male representation in the Democratic Party must be studied. I believe that there is an agenda, ladies and gentlemen, to remove the hetero husband, father figure, and other men like him. There is an agenda to remove him. And you see that agenda most specifically practiced in the Democratic Party. Need I explain a little bit to you? During the Democratic National Convention, which I was watching for shits and giggles, some of y'all watched it too, I counted several occurrences where these people used and depicted pictures of the family with 2 women and 2 men. If that doesn't tell you that they are trying to do away with the hetero male husband father figure, what else will? Why are they trying to do that, Trigger Mike? I can explain it to you. The Democrats have sold their soul to the non-hetero people. The Democrats have sold their soul to women. More specifically, the independent women. In order to control their mind and their narrative, the heterosexual male father figure cannot be around. When he's around, he controls the narrative. That's the difference. When fathers are present, they are the ones you got to go through to influence the children. They're the ones you got to go through to make anything happen. So what they came up with is like, why don't we remove this dude out of the picture and just talk to the women so we can impress upon the children and we have our own voting block. If you don't notice this by now, that as a black heterosexual male, you do not see yourself represented in the Democratic Party, listen to my words and I will explain it to you. They do not represent the hetero male husband father figure at all. They have removed every representation, Every agenda you champion, every visual aid that champions you and your efforts and your worth to your family, they removed it from all their banners. They removed it from all their advertising. They are anti-family. Tell them, AP. They are anti-hetero family. So you want to know why I can't vote for her? It's not her specifically. It's what her party represents. And they've sold their soul to these people. And we can't let it happen. I want every black man, Black American, African, anybody, Jamaican, Caribbean, Afro Caribbean, every black man in this country right now, I want you to ask yourself a question. Where do you see yourself represented in the modern day Democratic Party of 2024? If you are a staunch Democrat, ask yourself that question. Where am I represented? The Democratic Party is the party of women and non-hetero people. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on that, and we can have a debate. Another reason I can't vote for Kamala Harris. The Democratic Party doesn't talk to men. They don't talk to men at all. Now, let me tell you what I mean by this. Hillary Clinton made a grave mistake, and I studied her presidency and the way that she lost it. All right, I studied it. You cannot win a presidential election ignoring half of the constituency, which are men. When a woman runs for president, and might I add that Kamala Harris is making the exact same freaking mistake. How are you going to ignore the needs and concerns and viewpoints of half the constituency? You only going to talk to women? You only going to champion their agenda? And you somehow think you're going to win a national election doing that? We'll see. I don't know everything, but we'll see. Do you see what these people did to Hillary Clinton? That lady lost Pennsylvania. That was a crushing blow. She lost the entire freaking Rust Belt. Those are men, working, factory working men, salt of the earth, coal under their nails. All right? How you going to ignore them? And they were so arrogant because they thought they had that sewed up from Obama's, what's the thing called? Bailout. Obama bailed them out. So they thought, oh, well, Hillary just going to get those votes. She's not going to go talk to those people. She's not going to check on their pensions or talk about them at all. She got that vote sewed up. They were wrong. They turned on her. And now Kamala Harris is doing the same thing. Why don't you come talk to the fathers and see our concerns for our children's education, for our children's future? Maybe we have realistic concerns about not wanting them to end up like so many of the people we see out here in student loan and personal consumer debt. Maybe we think about that stuff because some of us are still the leaders in our communities and in our own homes. They don't talk to men at all. And I know why they're doing that, y'all. They're afraid to champion any agenda of men because it's going to piss the women and the non-hetero people off. That's how deep in they are in with them. They sold their soul to them. Every mistake and every election lost by the Democrats from here on out is a mistake of their own doing. It's the chickens coming home to roost. You went in too deep with the wrong people, and now you can't. Now you can't. You can't turn back. You can't turn back. You're in too deep. Any agenda they want, you got to champion it, or you lose. Or you lose half their voting block instantly. Y'all get it popping in the chat, man. I'm gonna drop that link again so y'all can come talk to me about what I've said. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, but let me continue because I've asked y'all. Ask yourself, as a black man, where am I represented in the Democratic Party? I want you to vote for interests. This is not a Democrat or Republican thing. Remember, I barely even align fully with any party. Okay, but I want you to think. Where are you represented? I've told you that they don't talk to men. I told you that they are anti-traditional family and have removed you, the heterosexual male father figure, from the picture in your own family. They removed you, but yet they want your vote. Think about that. They are the party of women and non-hetero people. Let me know what y'all think about that. True or false? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's true. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's false. Now, here is a statement that I want to make. If Kamala Harris loses this election in November, I repeat, if Kamala Harris loses this election in November, she should not blame herself. She should not blame herself at all. All right. Angela Rye, Teslin Figaro, and Jasmine Crockett, and women like them lost this election for her. Those women, those commentators and congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett, every time they get in front of a camera, every time you give them a microphone, they are destroying the presidential image of Kamala Harris. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that shit. You give these women a camera and a microphone, they are eating away at Kamala Harris's chances every chance they freaking get. They do not understand that the image, the positive image of black people and black women is so razor thin, and they just keep destroying it every chance you get. Did y'all see that interview on the Breakfast Club? Oh my gosh. What was it? Jill Stein of the Green Party and another guy named Dr. Butch, and then Angela Rye was there just poking fun at the lady. I'm telling you right now, I do not feel comfortable making one of our women president because they will start a race war. And Angela Rye on that Breakfast Club episode was proof. They are going to start a race war, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is about race with them. Everything. That lady, who is a presidential candidate, came up there to talk and be objective. If you have ever seen Jill Stein talk, she only talks about the objectives of her party, and she only speaks as a candidate. Angela Rye came up there with pure smoke, trying to tear the lady down, and then try to ask for help, try to ask the black men to help her when she got checked. Goodness gracious, man. Vice President Kamala Harris, if you somehow catch this soundbite, I want you to understand that if you lose this election in November, it is not your fault. Women like Jasmine Crockett and the stunts that she likes to pull at congressional hearings and destroying the image of black women, and Angela Rye on the Breakfast Club further destroying the image of black women, and Teslin Figaro cutting black men off on her own podcast when they try to tell them their views, they destroyed your chances. You didn't have to make one appearance. You didn't have to win another debate. They destroyed your chances. If Kamala Harris loses, I'm going to come from the viewpoint that she never stood a freaking chance. She had such a short time to make herself look presidential. People, let me tell you what's at stake here. Y'all couldn't even get it together for a presidential election. I'm so disappointed. Let me tell you what my criticisms are real quick of what I've seen and why I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. Kamala Harris got one shot. She had one shot. And they destroyed it. Because all of the people that were against her had to magically switch and act like they ain't say all the shit they've been saying for the last damn near 4 years about her. Okay? So they had to magically switch. All right? Then you have to have the mindset to say, let me not destroy this for this woman. In this moment, in the last 4 months, since it was announced that Kamala Harris was going to be the presumptive and now nominated presidential candidate of the Democratic Party for the presidential election of the United States, all black women were supposed to be on code. All of that neck snapping and rubbernecking, all of that shit was supposed to fall by the wayside. Your negative social image, is so shaky. It should have been nothing but smiles, handshakes, listening without interrupting. None of the stuff that you get criticized for should have been on display. But Angela Rye, Evelyn Figaro, Jasmine Crockett, some of the other CNN commentators, MSNBC commentators, they ruined it for her. She don't need to blame herself if she loses. They ruined that shit. I'm not even being facetious. They ruined it for Kamala Harris. Whenever I hear those specific ladies talk, I picture a white woman, more specifically, a college-educated white woman. They have made up the difference in the last 2 elections. College-educated white women turned on Hillary Clinton and they turned on Trump. All right? They turned on Hillary Clinton. She lost. They turned on Trump. He lost. Whenever those women pull that bullshit, I see a college-educated woman who has not made up her mind throw the remote at the TV and say, I'm not voting for them. I'm not voting for them. Those women destroyed her chances. Let me bring Mr. Payne up. What's going on?
Hey, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good this evening. How are you?
All right. Hey, man. Good to see you back, brother.
Yeah, man. I just had to.
Even if it's for one night, man, that's cool.
I know. You know, I was about to say, I might try Sundays. I can't do weekdays, you know. I can jump on the channel every now and again for a few hours, but I can't. Like the shows, you know, are kind of hard to run. But
no, I hear you. I understand, man. I'm retired, man. I got the time. I make my own time, so I can understand working people, man.
No,
yo, man, I agree with you with 99% of what you're saying, but I have my own reasons why the Democrats are not for black folks. I think it's about time that we divest from them anyway. Even if it wasn't, even if they weren't for the alphabet mafia and all the things that ain't good for the United States, it's time for blacks to start to divvy up our votes so we can demand more of the two parties, or even if a third party emerges, for us to be a part of that. And one of the things I think we need to know is that if there is a third party, it doesn't have to be about race at all. When we start thinking about issues in the United States, we have so much more in common with the average man as Americans. Forget about our skin color. And so we don't concentrate that with all the race baiting that goes on. We don't concentrate on the fact that we're Americans and we deserve a good America for our families in the future. You know,
Absolutely.
inflation hurts us, joblessness, immigration hurts us. I mean, it hurts us more because they're putting them in poor places and black places. I mean, it's just a bad thing with the Democrats. And as far as Kamala is concerned, you're being so kind to this woman. Even if she didn't have those race baiters like Angela Rye, Crockett, she is just not a good candidate for president. Period. Her policies, the way she is, forget about her playing on this I'm black and I'm not black. That's all just smokescreen. If you listen to what she stands for some shit that I can't get on. She's an alphabet community champion.
Yep.
When she started talking about taxing, when she started talking about taxing unearned gains, unrealized gains, she's my enemy from the jump. Just on that alone, I couldn't vote for her. And with all that long dollars you have, Mike, you know you can't vote for nobody who wants to tax your unrealized gains. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, you know, if you got if you got equity in a stock portfolio and you ain't selling, but you still got to pay tax on the equity, where does it stop? Do you have to pay tax on the equity in your house? That's an
Mm.
unrealized gain. So what are
It
we
damn,
talking
damn
about?
sure is. It damn sure
What
is.
is she talking about? That's as soon as she said that, man, I don't care what she does. I can't vote for that. You know, so anyway, you know, she's just a bad candidate all the way around. And it's not because she's a woman. Even though I don't agree with a woman being a president, not of these United States right now, but
Yeah.
she's not one. If it was Tulsi Gabbard, I would see something. But you know, that's just my opening thing, man.
Well, listen. Me and you are aligned with that. So Tulsi Gabbard. So when me and my wife have these conversations, and it's actually pretty bad. She gets really upset. Like, what is the problem? I mean, listen. I've said this numerous times. I said this before. I don't think there's an issue with um the competence or qualification level of many of these women that are running for president. I just don't think anybody understands the gravity of the American president being a woman.
That's right.
It really can happen anywhere else. You better take special notice if it's going to happen here. This is the military power of the world. Putin will fuck with her just to be fucking with her. Y'all don't know that?
Yep.
Xi
Yep.
Jinping will be fucking with her just to fuck with her to see what
Yep.
she's gonna do. And just so you understand, no, they would not do this to another man. They wouldn't do it, but they're gonna do it to her because what it represents. She's gonna call them on the phone. They don't have the same culture we do. So any type of overbearing, dominating talk to one of those other world leaders, they're gonna start fucking with us because of her. So I don't think people understand the gravity of the situation about the world's military dominant superpower having a female as commander in chief. They think it's just something that could happen. Mexico got a female president. Mexico ain't us.
That's right.
New Zealand had a female. New Zealand damn sure ain't us. Nobody worried about them. All right, but I mean, I wish people would really look into it. So I'm gonna drop the link again. I want people to come up and speak on this.
Yeah, I got one
We
more
waiting
with you.
on Beans to come, but I got a question for you,
All right.
Mr. Payne. Now let's talk about it. Like, let's say if she has a chance or she wins or whatever. We don't have a crystal ball, and I'm gonna take a Van Jones, freaking
Oh, Jesus.
Democrat. I'm gonna take his words and say between now and the election is a political lifetime. Anything can happen, right?
That's right. I agree.
So let's say she wins. What can men expect from a female president. Because the reason that is important is that they do nothing but talk about what they're going to do for women and why this is important for women. And I want y'all to understand that it doesn't matter what party a male president was affiliated with. Male presidential candidates have never really talked in gender speak. They only talk about women's rights, but they don't talk about women specifically. They talk about the family. They talk about citizens. They talk about Americans. So somehow we've allowed women to segregate the constituency into and their policy into what they're going to do for one gender. So as the men, as American citizens and men, we have a question for the women of the Democratic Party. What can we expect, since you already broke it down into gender, what can we expect from a female president? What do you got to say about that?
Well, we could expect nothing. Nothing. They're not going to have anything. I mean, first of all, yeah, as far as they're concerned, men are just the tools to be used. That's why it's so important that she's not president, because she wouldn't have any trouble sending men to die in war, right? I'm serious. We're just like in the regular diaspora, women, for the most part, not all, okay? They look at us as tools to be used, just used, right? I mean, how many times do they have to say it for us to believe it? You know, I mean, when you get on these YouTube spaces and people say it's just YouTube or it's just TikTok, there's millions of people represented in these spaces, right? Millions of women. When's the last time you heard a woman say, "Hey, I want a man with 800 different things"? But when have you ever heard them say what she's going to give to that man?
Never.
Never. Women don't ever think, what do you, for all the shit I want from these guys, what am I going to give in return? You never hear it. You just never hear it unless you find that married woman or the few women we have on that we can count on maybe two hands that understand that this, the world has men in it. And that's why, just get back for a second, and I'll land it here. That's why I like Tulsi Gabbard, because she's a soldier.
Yep.
She understands what it means to send somebody's son, somebody's husband, somebody's brother into war. She understands that because she's seen it firsthand, And so from that standpoint, that's why she's a stoic woman.
Yeah. You know what I like about
so they ain't gonna offer us shit. Let me put it to you that way.
now. You know what I like about Tulsi Gabbard? I've long said this. There's two people, because I told somebody this. I said, "Well, are you against women being proud?" I was like, "No." And as a matter of fact, I know it's going to happen at some point. Now, 50 years from now, I think it's going to be a conservative woman. I think it's going to be a Tulsi Gabbard or a Candace Owens type. Or, you know what I mean? Type. Because here's why I think that's going to happen. The woman candidate that is beloved by men is going to win the presidency.
That's right.
So if you look at the way it happened in the UK, damn, what was her name? Margaret Thatcher?
Yes. Mm-hmm. From UK, Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret
she was
Thatcher.
The big one.
Oh my God, what was it? The Women's Liberation Party came to her with a list of demands when she became prime minister, and she tore that shit up. It was like, who the hell do you think I am? She said, "You're not getting nothing from me. You didn't get nothing from me before I was prime minister. You're not getting any special consideration now. I am the people's prime minister. I am not the prime minister of women." So until we have a woman that can look women in the face and be like, "Who the hell do you think you are?" That woman was, she was ultimately betrayed and kicked out by those men for doing, but she was beloved by her male colleagues, and that's why they felt comfortable putting her in the prime minister's position. I think that's only a conservative woman can do that.
I agree with you.
Look at the way Candace Owens will just take it to any woman on the panel. She's with the smoke. Any of her beliefs, religious, political, she's up for all of it. And I think that, and I was telling my wife this, I said, the only presidential candidate that can get enough votes from the male constituency is the woman that command respect from those men. So that's where that respect comes from. Candace Owens will hold her own. I haven't seen her really flip-flop, which means that she won't really acquiesce to the demands of women just because they have them.
That's right. They got to make sense to it. That's for
Yep.
sure.
So we
They gotta make
respect her.
sense.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if you don't like her, you gotta be like, yo, I respect the way this lady get down.
Mhm.
She stood in. I watched that interview when it was like her, T.I., Killer Mike on the stage. No, that's it. That was the most progressive ass audience. She did not switch up once. She didn't flinch. I respect that. But let's get Ikene in here. Ikene,
Okay, what's going on, Ikene?
how that baby doing?
Man, baby growing. She's about to be one next week, and then
Oh
her
yeah.
birthday is coming it's coming the following weekend.
You
So you
look
can
like
bring the
me. All
kids
them
over
damn
from
gray hairs.
Houston.
You got about 60 new gray hairs. I know where it came from.
I tell you, man. I tell you, man.
What's
I
up, man?
tell
What are
you,
you?
man. Yeah. Candace Owen being a president.
He's just using that as an example.
Yeah. I want to write on that example. Is it gonna happen? Yes, it's gonna happen. But guess what? She gonna have to get black people to start understanding what she's saying. More black women to agree with her. You see what I'm saying? Because as long as the ones that are delusioned don't want to agree with her, that's a lot of votes. That's a lot of votes right there. But if more than half of them agree to what she's saying, which she's telling the truth most of the time, no, she's telling the truth, I would say almost all the time. But it's the delivery. Which the delivery is what I like. I like the delivery because you got to get on these people's faces, you know what I'm saying? But Gabby Gifford, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, she's not. It's not gonna. Even with her serving in the military, it's not gonna really happen because you know why? Number one, she is very dishonest person, and I will tell you why. If you get elected under a party and you know what that party stands for, and you campaign with the party mantra or mandate, and ride with it and then change after you're already in the office. A lot of people are not going to trust you. Although Trump has changed the presidency now, so you can never tell who can be elected. Anybody can be elected. I'm telling you for real. Those days are gone when I'm going to say that, oh, this person has to have this or have to have this or have to have that to become president of the United States. No, those days are gone. Anybody can be president, brother. Anyone. In fact, somebody that is not born here is going to be president of the United States one day. That's what we're heading to. You feel me? But
I don't know how that's just possible, but
it's not. It's not. But guess what? You're just going to go to. You're going to go to national to Supreme Court and debate that because these Supreme Courts, man, they're letting anything go, man, bro. You see, as long as. But what I'm going to say in essence is this: a woman to be president, Kamala Harris has a shot. But guess what? I don't think it's going to be possible for one reason. A lot of people, especially in the black community, are not going to vote for her.
yeah, I see it
Her
happening
bag,
already.
yeah, her baggage. In fact, I'm in the community. When you have the community so divided in every household, that is tough. And she doesn't know how much damage it is. And I will tell you this based on the fact that her dad is not coming out to defend and say that he's black or he has a black mother. He's not coming out to say that in public to defend his daughter. That is big, which means
Hey,
they-
hold on real quick, Ikene. Hold on real quick. What up,
Mhm.
Beans? We'll get you in here in a moment. I want to say this to what you just said, then I want to read a question from Kay. So I started to notice some of the tactics that they were using, and I think it worked. That whole black thing, that was a tactic
Mhm.
to make it questionable. And it worked. It worked. If you are somebody that watches the way these things get, the way they get down, What they did was sow enough doubt to start a conversation. That conversation is happening in conservative circles. It's happening amongst women. It's happening in chats on Instagram. There's enough people that's questioning her blackness, and all they needed was one reason not to like her, because that's exactly what they did with Hillary Clinton. I, at that time, was a Democrat, and I did not realize. I thought that at that time, any woman running for president, because women vote more, there's no possible way a man could win, right? But the thing that I didn't know was possible is that women cost the women elections. And it's easy to turn women against each other. And I think that's why that seed was planted about her not being black. So let me read this question from Kay. What's going on, Kay? Thank you for coming through. She says, "Hi, Trigger Mike. I just got here, so I'm not sure what was going on previously in the conversation, but do you think the world's leaders outside of America will respect Trump more or Harris, and why?" They're going to respect Trump more. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. E-Man, forget you. I ain't no goddamn Democrat. Not anymore. They're going to respect Trump more. Among men, Trump is like he was a little bit of a laughing stock. They even caught that. I forget, at one World Leaders Conference or something, where some of them were laughing at him. Okay, I get it, but I think what we do is we always do these like for like comparisons between the respect a man gets and that we think a woman can get equal respect. Regardless, remember, the presidency of the United States is a figurehead position. So when we talk about respect, Trump is still a man. When Kamala Harris has to come negotiate the agreements with some of the people in these other countries of different cultures, they're not going to respect her at all. The second she tries to establish any position of dominance over them, her respect is gone. Because they know that it's just her dominance by proxy. It's not her doing it. It's not her saying it. Trump sat, and don't quote me on this. He sat in like a National Security Council meeting and handed one of the Taliban leaders a picture of his house and said, "If one American dies on this campaign, I'm going to blow your house up." A man knows a man means that shit. If Kamala Harris would have handed him that shit, she might have caused another world catastrophe because he can't let a woman do that shit to him. So on the issue of respect, Trump might be the lowest on the total poll in terms of man-to-man respect, and they don't like the way he conducts himself. He's a laughing stock. He's still a man. A woman, in my opinion, can never command the level of respect from world leaders in different cultures that a man can. They already don't respect her because she's a woman, and that's my answer for that. Let's get Beans in here, man. What's going on, bro?
What's popping?
Chilling, man.
I don't know. I don't want you to feel the need to reiterate the point that you just made, but I will say I don't think that that's accurate. If you put two people in front of me, one is a man, one is a woman, they're both holding a gun, I take them both equally seriously.
Mm-hmm.
If each one of them has the power to pull the trigger, who cares? Like, I'm not going to end the world, right, because a woman says something versus a man saying it. Like, not again, you don't need to reiterate it. I understood the point that you made. I'm just saying, I think a difference of opinion, right? But as far as the Kamala thing goes, I'm gonna say this. I feel very like it's humorous. Let's say that. It's very humorous to me that people keep suggesting that she's not gonna win. Now, I'll be honest, I don't watch polls. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
What I do know is that this is the second time that a woman has gotten this close to the office.
Yep.
I think the black thing was probably the best tool that they could have used, actually. I see more black people defending her blackness than I see that are against it.
Yep.
Not only that, every single thing that is used against her, guess what it's seen as? an attack on a woman. And whenever you are attacking a woman, people want to come to her rescue.
Mhm.
So we know in this country, Black women are labeled as the biggest victims, even though we know that that's not actually true, but they are seen as that, right? So now you put this Black woman and you got half the country attacking her. Well, what's going to be the response to that, right? So I'm just saying, for the people who keep saying that she's not going to win, I mean, facetiously, I say, let's put some money on it, because I don't see how she loses, to be honest with you, especially with the stuff that Trump is going through.
You made some good points, but I want to kind of combat something that you said. You said people come to her rescue. The Black thing, in my opinion, when you said you see more people coming to her rescue, you're right. But it's split off just a little bit. There's enough people questioning it. And I think it's a seed planted just to get few people to splinter off. Right. So it was more people coming to her rescue, but I think it did the work that it needed to do, where enough people were questioning it to kind of dig into her Black vote a little bit, because there's people saying they won't vote for her because of that shit. They started putting up pictures of her with her Indian mother. Her dad is Jamaican. They try to say this dude won't Black. It's hilarious. You see what I'm saying? So it was to sow doubt to get those people kind of off of her voting block. Now, here's the other thing I want y'all to remember when people say she can't win. Kamala Harris is not going up against candidate Trump. She is going up against former President Trump. If this was 2016, we might be looking at a different situation. She's also going against the president that got more votes than Barack Obama himself. He got the second most votes in U.S. history behind Joe Biden. So that, to me, is a serious problem for her.
So
now, hold on. Just one last thing. The reason I don't see her winning is because Obama basically taught a master class in how to win as a Black candidate. He never mentioned his race unless you mentioned it and brought it up. They tried to use Jeremiah Wright against him. He somehow masterfully, like fucking Neo from the Matrix, dodged that shit. He's so articulate, he's so eloquent when he talks, that he turned every opportunity in his own favor. Every opportunity against him, he turned in his own favor. Kamala Harris is currently not doing that, and it's not even her fault. She don't have enough time. The election was dropped in her lap at the 13th hour. So that's personally why I say she can't make up all those votes. She's going against a former president, not a candidate, who got the second most votes in history. And how does she pull the Obama coalition and turn and keep all of the states that Biden flipped? I don't see that happening, bro.
Well, I'm confused about the Trump got the second most votes things. He got the second most votes by who?
What do you mean? He got like 7. I mean by number.
Yeah, Beast, that's fact. He got the second most vote in the U.S. history for
by
presidential.
Right.
By number.
The popular vote.
By popular vote. But
Right,
Joe Biden is still beating by some 8,000 million. 8 million, I'm sorry, I said 8,000 million. 8 million. Yeah. So Joe Biden is number one in terms of votes. He's number 2 in U.S. history.
Yeah,
Okay,
but the electoral college was still close, and that's where the key is going to be. But I agree with Beans. So people got to stop discounting the fact that she could win this election. She definitely can, because we won't know until those votes are cast. But the truth of the matter is, if you strip away all this shit, well, ex-President Trump, former President Trump, has a track record. And if it wasn't for COVID, he probably would have won this.
He would have
another
won.
term.
That's why I think it might have been engineered.
That's right. So like I said, and he was right. He was right about the Chinese as well. I mean, it being in China and all that kind of stuff. It turns out he was correct. So you have to strip the guy's character from the way he ran the presidency. I mean, there were some bad things in there, but he actually did some things. If you look at the list, and even now he has Agenda 47, and you could read that list. There's some things on there that is good for Americans. So, and as far as Kamala Harris, she's not really running on any policies other than things that are really destructive. if you really think about it. You know, and I still can't get past that tax on unearned, unearned, gains, unrealized gains. But there's a lot of other things, the alphabet community thing, the gender affirming care stuff, all that stuff, man. I really can't get with that. And even though my kids are grown, I just being like, where's America going if everything goes? I just can't get with that. So a little bit more culture coming back, a little bit more conservatism added into the mix, I think is what we need. And we're not going to get that from the Democratic Party. And as far as being blacks, the Democrats have failed us for 50 years or more.
So let me ask y'all a question. I love, the way this conversation is going at the moment, because this is a political conversation. And I think Beans raised a good point, because I said it. I said between now, what is it, September 29th and November is a political lifetime. It's a political, like anything can happen to deactivate key voting blocks that they might need to win the election on either side.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I'm more on, like, I've actually sat down with the charts, like, how does she look, here's actually where I'm at with it. This is not a polarizing election. It's not. People stop talking about it. I don't see it in my feed anymore. It is nowhere near as polarizing as it was in 2020 or 2016. So I think that if I'm not misreading it, I think that leans in Trump's favor. I think it does. She needs to. Let me tell you why. Biden flipped Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Arizona. He flipped those. So that means that Harris has to keep them. Can she keep Arizona? She's not going to keep Georgia. Can we just say that's out? She's not going to keep Georgia. But key battleground, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. That's the Rust Belt, the factory. You see what I'm saying? Can she keep those? Traylon in the back. Can I get a peace sign? I know.
I don't know, man. Like, I look at it the same way how you look at it, like, or not even look at it, right? Let me be honest. I'm not even looking at it the way you looking at it. I'm feeling it the way you feeling it. But to me, it's hitting like it's a foregone conclusion. Like, that's kind of like how people are looking at it. So whether they think it's Trump or Harris, they're just looking at it like, yeah, my candidate got it in the bag. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand everybody's confidence in this particular election. I really don't get it. If you confident about Trump, I don't get that. If you confident about Harris, I don't necessarily get it, but I could understand, because it seems like to me, this is that time. Everything is suggesting, like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that with Hillary too, but technically she did win. I mean, she got more popular votes, right? Like, the electoral college thing is just stupid to me. If people keep trying to explain it to me, I'm just like, look, forget it. Right. But I'm just saying, more people voted for it, right? And so I'm assuming that to be the case now. Now, whether the electoral college works out in Kamala's favor or not, that's a different story. But the majority of people right now do kind of feel like, not that it's not in my feed, because it is for some reason, but it do kind of feel like every channel is reporting things as a foregone conclusion. The only person out here with any kind of skepticism a little bit is my man Bill Maher, who I watch regularly. Everybody else seems to be like, yeah, we're gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna win. I'm like, yo, what y'all pretending?
He's pretty confident though for Harris.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta be. So let me tell you why. Like, the funny thing about polls, if you ever read the fine print on polls, here's why I don't believe in the polls. When I was a Democrat, the polls told me Hillary Clinton was going to win. Oh, y'all remember that shit? All the polls. I was even like, there's no way Trump can win. Like, look at the polls. Look at the polls. And then look what happened. I mean, I was working at the hospital on the unit on election day because I didn't know why anybody come in. Like, for some reason, all the Hispanic people didn't want to come in. But like they was about to make a run for the border. I don't know what the hell was going on. And this fool won. I was like, oh, snap. Them polls are wrong. But polls are because I've never been polled. Have any of y'all ever been polled? That's just
No.
crazy to me. Ain't not a text message. I've never
You
been
know what
polled.
was a bigger
Yeah, I've
example?
been polled
You know
though.
what
I've
was a
been polled a
bigger
couple of times.
example?
I was
Who
polled
wanna
3 weeks
poll
ago.
yo
I
accent
was
having
polled 3 weeks
ass?
ago.
Who about to poll you?
Yeah.
That was a
You
scammer. That
polled,
was a
all
scammer
right.
that polled you.
He
I've
didn't
never been
catch that.
polled.
He didn't catch that one.
He polled himself.
They stole your social security number when you sent that text message.
Oh,
Just want you to know
Jesus
that.
Christ.
All right, let's get Traylon in here, man. What's going on?
What's going on, Black man? How you doing?
I'm good. What you got on the topic, bro?
I don't see how a black man or even a man in general could even potentially vote for Kamala, right? Because she's a habitual liar. If you go, just like when she had the debate against Trump, was it MF? Not, it was ABC, right? Wasn't that
Yes.
ABC? They were
Yeah,
fact
ABC.
checking. They were fact checking Trump during the debate. But then when you go back and everyone did their research, they found out that Trump was actually telling the truth. And then it was Kamala Harris that was lying. So it was already 3 against 1. Then when you talk about Trump being a leader, Trump is the only president, from my understanding, that has ever stepped inside of North Korea. No other president in history has ever done that but Donald Trump. You can fact check that. If you just seen Trump with Zelensky the other day, when you seen him, Zelensky was saying he wants the war over. Donald Trump said we're going to come to some type of agreement so we can get this war done. When Kamala Harris was with Zelensky, she wouldn't even take questions. So Trump shows him as a, and then we seen what he did from 2016 to 2020. He's proven, in my opinion, as a president. All she does is lies, and then she didn't even get nominated. They put her in a position. They had no Democratic primary for her to actually earn her spot. They basically made her a DUI, which, if you go do your research, Joe Biden called her a DUI.
He damn
Whatever
sure
you
did.
call it. You know what I mean? So she's not even qualified.
All right. Woo, came out. Yeah, you came out hot.
I'm just saying, like, tell me something. Like, anybody that's vote for Kamala, please tell me her policies. If you see her, it's just like, if you go look over her tax plan that she's talking about implementing once Trump, the tax plan that Trump puts in once it expires. If you go do when you go do the actual research on that and do the numbers, everybody's taxes is going up. Everybody, if the Trump tax plan is not renewed. I don't think that we all want our taxes to go up. Do y'all want y'all taxes to go up?
I don't know.
Exactly. Hold on. Let me land my plane. And then when you look at her job, we can and my brother that's running the show, he can pull it up. Joe Biden gave her the border. That is a fact. It is documented that he gave her that responsibility. So if you cannot handle one job, how are you going to be able to handle the entire United States and everything that comes with handling the United States? She can't handle the border.
You know what's funny? Every time somebody says the border, I think about that clip where it's like, we've gone to the border. Yes,
No,
we've
you
gone
haven't
to
went
the
to the
border.
border.
And they said, have you been to the border? No, I haven't been to the border.
I haven't been to Europe. She said, I haven't been to Europe either. She said, I haven't been to Europe either. You know,
See,
so
that's the thing, though, right? But like a lot of the things in Trigger, you might have heard me say this before, that kind of frustrate me about conversations, particularly in these spaces on YouTube, is that I think we kind of talk with talking points, right? We don't speak honestly about it, right? So like even when bro says that you think she mishandled the border, I don't think she mishandled the border. I think exactly what was supposed to happen is what happened. Right? Like she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Nothing.
that was a plan. That's what he said.
Right? So it's like, and that's how I have to look at it. I can't gaslight myself. So I have to look at it. I have to say to myself, like, okay, you say she's not qualified. Well, was Trump qualified when he first ran? Right?
Hold on. Again.
Wait, you can't tell people to let you land and then say, hold on.
Go ahead, bro.
No, but I do want to hear your response. I just want to mess with you. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I said Joe Biden gave her a specific job, literally, Like, there's a video of him saying that he's giving her the responsibility of the border. Okay.
Mhm.
When Donald Trump was in office as the president, he handled foreign and domestic policy. He did his job. So when we go fact check Donald Trump on his job, he did his job. Kamala Harris was given a specific duty. She could not handle that.
Again, right? That's because you're standing on a talking point, right? That's what I'm saying.
So hold on, is my talking point or not?
If you believe, well, yes, because you assume that she was supposed to stop immigrants from coming in, and I'm telling you that
No. It's not what I said. It's not what I said.
Okay, so what was her job with the board?
I didn't. Hold on. Whatever Joe Biden gave her the responsibility. So her as a leader, however she's supposed to delegate or handle the border, that was her responsibility. Now we do know for sure that ICE just approved. I mean, ICE just told us that we have 13,000 convicted murderers, 15,000 convicted people with the R word, over 400,000 people with felonies, convicted felons that have come across the border. So do you approve of that, my brother? I guarantee those people didn't come over when Donald Trump was in office. I guarantee you. The people that came over that got citizenship were vetted properly.
Okay. Oh, Beast.
You're missing the point.
All right, one mic.
Yeah. Hold on, man. Don't do it. So, brother, again, right? Because what I'm gonna do, any platform I'm on, is hold you niggas to the shit that you say out your mouth. You said that Joe Biden gave her the job and that she wasn't able to do it. What was the job? What was she supposed to do that she didn't do?
I literally said, handle the border. Again.
Right. What does that mean?
Again, hold on, sir. Hold on. Again, regardless, I'm telling you what the video said. Now, the actual in and outs, that's her job. That's what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to figure that out. That's not for me and you to figure out. That's for her to figure out.
A lot of brothers coming.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah, don't get scared now.
You're accusing her of not doing.
No, I'm not accusing her of anything.
It's literally what you said.
All right, so we're gonna table that right now because don't look like.
Well, okay, so then let me just finish my point. Then.
Last one, we're gonna get AP in there.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, but here's the thing, though, right? This is what I'm saying. What I find funny, Trigger. I see this happen all the time, and this isn't personal to nobody on the space, is that a lot of times the things that we claim that other people do, we do ourselves, right? So it's like, oh, yo, all y'all black people, all y'all do is vote Democratic because that's what y'all mama said do, and that's what this person said do, and that's all. But then when you look at the other people that's voting the other way, they doing the same thing, right? They voting Republican because they think they're supposed to be Republican. Their family told them to vote Republican. Their friends, they like whatever, right? So it's like, if we're gonna be smarter, let's be smarter. Right? Let's have the smart conversation, not the dumbed down conversation, right? If you think in 2024 that those immigrants weren't supposed to be here, you're smoking something.
That's right.
It's something wrong with you. If you think, again, it's not personal to anybody on the panel. I'm just saying in general. If you think they weren't supposed to be here, then I got a bridge to sell you.
That's right.
Can I respond?
Can I ask a question? Why does anybody think deporting 11 million people would be a good idea? Why do we
I gotta get Reese in here. Hold on, Reese. Traylon, respond 30 seconds, please. Then we go get AP in there, and then Reese, you after him.
Well, the reason
go ahead, Traylon.
My bad. I was just speaking to AP. What's up, bro?
Okay. So I'm gonna take that as a shot, Beans. But this is my thing. I'm voting for Donald Trump specifically because I understand what he would do when it comes to foreign and domestic policy. One thing I do know that Kamala Harris is owned by BlackRock. Do your research. I'm gonna stay surface level. You might not have done enough research to understand what I mean when I say BlackRock, but she is owned and ran by BlackRock, and I'm gonna leave it right there.
All right, let me get the super chat read, and we're gonna get my man AP in there. My man Big N with the $10 says, "What up, Trigger Mike?" And I say pain for president in 24. Damn right.
You need another baby boomer up there, man.
Viagra
get it done, get the baby boomers in there.
I want Viagra for free. You goddamn right, pain for 24. All right, AP, my man, what you got on the topic, bro?
What's going on? How's my mic? This is the first time I'm using these headsets. Can you guys hear me?
For you to be in the car, that shit is beautiful. Like, it sounds great.
Awesome. So
Trigamaki brought up a great point. It was actually the point I was going to make when I first came up, but I think you kind of missed the mark. One of the things that you mentioned was about Biden getting the most votes ever in
Mhm.
2020 and Trump getting the second most votes ever. And this is why I disagree with Beans, and this is why I think there will be a solid win. And I wouldn't be surprised if Trump actually wins the
Popular
popular
vote.
vote as well.
I think he's going
And this is
to.
the reason why. This is the reason why. There was it's approximated that about 4% of the electorate in 2020 were actually Republicans that decided to vote strictly against Trump
Yeah.
or not vote on the presidential side. And that 4% we found out is huge. There is no, unfortunately, there's no real momentum or true desire that's really pushing Kamala at this point. And guys, please start saying her name right. I think that's fair.
I done heard
Uh,
about 5 different versions tonight. I don't know which one it is anymore.
Kamala, like you say the word comma, you say love at the end. But there's no real momentum behind her at this time. And something can change throughout October. We've seen it happen several election cycles. But at the moment, there's no momentum for her. And without the turnout, there's no possible way for her to win with her not getting at minimum 92% of the black vote. I do not even see her getting that 92%
Oh,
of the black
no.
vote. I see it being closer to about maybe 83 to 85
She's
if she's lucky.
I hope
God
it's not
damn, we got Reese over
'cause we're
here,
black men. No.
like twerking, ready to say so. God damn. All
I'm trying to
right,
be
Now,
Reese.
if we,
respectful. I'm trying to
Hold
wait
on.
your turn, yo.
I don't even got theme
I'm
music. I got to get my deck ready. But we got a true Harris supporter in the house. My man Reese.
No,
and,
Take it
and
Jesus.
away.
and that's cool. Let me finish, and Reese, you can jump on it. But when we talk about policy, her policy, unfortunately, is a Democrat policy. And as long as she's going to continue to follow the Democrat platform, it's going to be very, very difficult for her to win over some of the key voting blocks that she needs in order to energize that particular piece of the base. That the anti-family, there's you really can't dispute it, especially when you look at who she chose as a running mate or was given as a running mate. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm gonna say she chose her running mate. As long as she chose a guy like that, as opposed to the guy that was from Pennsylvania, I forget their names, who
Shapiro,
I thought would
Shapiro.
have, thank you,
Shapiro.
who I thought would have been a
Yeah,
better
yeah.
option.
AP, you're wrong. AP, you're wrong. You
Hold
know
on.
why I
Let
say you're
Hold
wrong?
on, can I
JD
finish
Vance is
first?
any
he
better?
say,
Let
let
him
him
Go ahead.
finish.
finish. You can
JD
Can I
Vance.
finish first?
Go ahead, go ahead.
The difference between Trump and Kamala is that it doesn't matter who he picked as his second. He's not going to need that voting block. He's not going to need to like Trump is the energy. Kamala is not the energy.
Yeah, he has
Tim
a cult. He
currently,
has a cult.
you're right,
It's a cult.
and Tim will help energize a certain block of voters to at least push them to the polls. Trump doesn't need that, so he could have picked me for crying out loud, and it wouldn't have fucking mattered. Let's be real.
That's
But
true.
I'll land there. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, let me just address one thing real quick before I go on my little tangent. You said that Harris needs 92% of the black vote to win. No, she doesn't, because she's leading by a big margin with the women vote. That's white women, black women, Spanish women in general. She's leading by a huge margin, so she don't
So
need
was Biden.
92% of the black vote.
So was Biden, and he still needed that 93%.
No, I mean it would. I think she's leading with the black vote. She's leading with the black
Of
vote,
course,
but just not by a
Democrats
huge
lead
margin.
with it.
Yeah, she's
Democrats
been
lead
That's
with it.
exactly what I was
Like,
about to
like,
say.
like
She's leading with the
Democrats
black
lead.
vote, but
She's
not by
not
a
leading
huge
with
margin.
93. She's not gonna if she doesn't hit the 90% mark.
She
I'm
doesn't
gonna go
have
ahead and tell you
No,
she's
90%.
she's
not
gonna
leading.
make it up.
Fair.
She's making it up somewhere else.
Yeah,
You,
she
there,
is with women.
Let
y'all,
With
Reese.
y'all don't understand the sheer
She is
numbers in it.
women. I'm telling you,
All right,
brother.
she's leading. She's
hold
leading
on, y'all.
As
She's
a matter of
leading a
fact,
huge
Bro,
margin of
this is
women's
what I'm gonna
votes.
say. I'm gonna be quiet directly after this.
AP,
Beans, I
you are
take your
correct.
bet. Beans, I take your bet, and I can't see your name. I'm not familiar with you. I'll take the bet. $100 each. Say she loses not only the electoral college, but she may even lose the popular vote. Let's
Both.
make that bet.
I'm putting
My
my
bet is on both.
$100 to that.
Yeah, let me go on my
Bet. I'll bet
tangent.
all
Okay,
three of
let
All
me
you.
right,
go
all
on my
right.
little
Hey,
tangent
we're gonna let Reese get his out uninterrupted. I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
about why Harris would be a better candidate as president than Donald Dump. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
Yep.
this whole speculation that Trump would have won if it wasn't for COVID, that's false. That's false. Because literally everybody in his cabinet turned on him. Even his vice president Pence turned on him. So he was not popular even within his own party. Everybody turned on him. And COVID, okay, so you're saying he was so good in 3 years, right? He was such a great president in 3 years. That little half year of his final year of 2019, that caused people not to want to vote for him. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. And so you're actually thinking deporting 11 million people, 11 million immigrants, that's going to help the economy? That's a good idea to deport 11 million people, separating people from their families, to have a 20 to 60% tariff on foreign goods, which is going to cost the common man more taxes, way more taxes, because it's a tariff on 60% goods coming from China. You think that's going to be good for their economy? Like, come on, we actually have to really think about what this man plans to do in his second term. It's not good. Harris, at least she wants to try to build a middle class. She wants to try to build small business owners. At least she wants to try to help single mothers. She has a plan for the common man, for the middle class. Trump doesn't. He wants to lower the taxes for big corporations to 15%. For big corporations and rich people, wealthy people, to 15%. That's gonna have all the economists, all the top economists, and Kamala Harris, she already pointed this out. Literally, all the top economists say Trump's plan will put us in a Great Depression by the middle of 2025. All the top economists say that. So if you think you're smarter than them, I don't know what to tell you. They all disagreed with his plan.
That's not true.
Well,
All right.
can we address the
Hold on,
deportees?
wait. Just real quick, I would like Ray's to continue because he never told us why we should vote for Kamala under his
Okay, because at least
that tangent.
she wants to build the middle class. She wants to help. She
I
wants to try
said
to
that.
help lower income families. She's not looking out for rich
How?
people and big corporations.
How? Give me a specific.
Okay, specifics. Okay, she has a tax credit for people who are first time home buyers. She has a
Yeah.
tax credit for that.
How
And
much?
not
How much?
everybody know first
That's
generation
not
home buyers.
first
Keep
generation.
going.
So if your parents have bought a house, you don't qualify. That's not true.
Facts.
I don't think it said first generation. I think
Yes,
it said
It
it
first.
is,
does.
sir.
It
You
does.
don't
All
It's
right.
even on the website.
sir. If your parents own a house, you don't even qualify. If your parents have bought a house, you don't
Okay,
qualify.
why does
Hold on.
that matter if you can get
Let
your
him
stuff right
finish.
and get FHA
We're
and you
gonna
can
get
get
to
the other
Sam.
one? So
Let
stop
Reese
And
doing
again,
finish.
this.
hold
I
on.
like
Hold
how
on.
your
Medicare.
Republicans just sit up
Trump does
there
not have a
and
plan.
don't correct the
Hold
stuff
up,
Does
that
not
Kenny.
have
these
a
state
plan for
Hold up,
Medicare.
Kenny.
moderate
Hold up,
All
Kenny.
right,
We were
conservative saying.
responding to him
AP,
what he
hold up.
said, and what we said is
Rev,
factual.
all right,
Okay,
Reese,
can I
30
say this? Let me
seconds.
say this. The Affordable
Reese,
Care Act.
30 seconds. Button it
Trump,
up.
he wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and replace it with something he doesn't even know what he does. He has a concept. He doesn't know what he
hold
wants to
on.
replace the
Oh
Affordable
my
Care Act
God.
with.
But
All
do
He's
right, all
you
right.
clueless with that.
understand
As
That
far
is
as medical
how
stuff,
false.
he's
how many
clueless.
Hey,
pages?
That's
AP,
not
How many
true.
hold up.
pages of the ACA
What
did
up,
you
y'all?
read? How many
All right,
pages
let's
of the
get up.
ACA did you read? I've actually read the ACA.
Hold
Okay,
up.
he said he
It
had a
is. It
concept.
is.
He
God
said he had a
dang.
Wait.
concept.
The reason. The
That's what he
reason.
said. Yeah, a
God,
concept.
nigga. All
Hey,
right, all
Trigger
right.
Mike, what he's saying is not true, my brother.
No, we're gonna get into it as a panel. Hold on, y'all. God
Right.
damn, God damn.
That
I
part.
was about to now y'all done
All
turned it
this
into a whole political
self-aggrandizement
debate.
of Trump is crazy.
All right,
He
so
wasn't that good of a president. He wasn't.
Reese, get
Oh
your
man.
head out of Kamala's ass. Just give me 2 seconds.
You
Y'all
see
got
how you
MAGA hats.
snapped
Y'all in
that
Trump's
trigger
ass.
with
Y'all got
that
MAGA
statement
hats and
alone that
Trump
you
What?
said
t-shirts.
it shows
Y'all
how
in his
slack
No,
ass.
you
no,
Hell,
no.
are. So
All
you
right,
I
know
fellas,
the
haven't even
fellas,
voted
Kamala
for him, but
Harris
that's
will get
okay.
all
he
the
got a Kamala
disrespect
Harris
you did on
t-shirt
the
on.
fellas,
debate.
He got a
fellas.
Trump hat on.
Let's get
You don't
scamming
get fair
there. We trying
moderated
to
by
get
saying stuff
everybody.
like that. Are you gonna
Hold
be
up.
arbitrary when we hear you say
That's what I'm
stuff
saying. It's
like
a
that?
cult. It's just a cult. It's a cult.
All right, hold on, Kenny.
That's all
We're
it
gonna
is.
get everybody's objective opinion on what's going on.
Wow.
Then
You
we're
want
gonna
to
chop
deport
it up as a
11
panel.
million immigrants. That's
Let's
crazy.
get Scam in there.
Oh,
Scam,
come
what's
on,
going
man.
on? Good
If
evening.
you agree
What's
with
going
that,
on?
hey,
All right,
I'll let
Reese.
you.
Reese is
I'll
Kamala.
defer. I want to hear some more windmill, and I'll get in after.
Scam
That's all right.
can't say nothing
This is
until
pretty
he go
bad.
write his name back up in the group home and take that thing off his neck and come up here like a grown man.
All right, I guess you want some dust. Go ahead. Then I'll dust you off afterwards.
All right, let's go, Kenny.
Dust me off?
Yeah,
Sir,
go
you're the
ahead.
one that came
Fire
up
up
like
the
you just
bullshit.
came off a flight.
These y'all high value
You
men,
came
by
off
the
a
way.
flight.
all this Trump love is crazy, man.
All right.
I can
I
say
need
the
some
same.
dust.
Especially from
Let's
black
clear
people,
some.
it's
All
crazy.
right,
Let's clear some shit up real quick before Kenny goes. Just real quick.
All right,
fire
go
up
ahead,
the
AP.
dust.
First of all,
30
there's a
seconds.
difference between completely disagreeing with Kamala and being a Trump supporter. I've never voted for the man. So don't confuse the two like liberals like to do. They're not the same. I vehemently disagree with her policy and her policy alone. And I think Trump's policy, when you reflect back, because you were inaccurate, and I'm not going to go over it, I'm going to let Kenny do his thing. But when you reflect back and you actually look it up, you'll find out that you're wrong. Sorry about that. What's up, brother Kenny?
All
What's
right,
going on,
so
panel?
Kenny.
Where's my
All right,
man?
go ahead.
I like when you got young bucks that come up here and think they know their ass from their elbows. You understand? I'm gonna be fair. There are things that don't work on both sides, but in this election, you have to pick what works best for the country, not just yourself. Yeah. But many people will be conservative and point out all the things about, oh, what her Kamala, she's not white, she's not this. Her policies are an extension of a democratic system that never worked for us. You got old man Payne talking about Agenda 47. I don't believe he read it, but he would stand up here and say he read it. That would be giving him absolute power and extend his reach if he got in the presidency. And they have people that scoff on that, talking about climate change and other things that he wished to be strong on about. Like he's one of these people that really do something up here. You talk about Kamala, whatever you want to call her. It bothers me. You talk about immigration, the wall.
But he,
You know how long the border is? That's over like almost 2,000 miles. How many border patrol officers do we have? Not enough. And Kamala was not given the position as for taking care of the wall. It was somebody named Munija. That was his name, Edward Munija. That was his job, not hers. So you're speaking falsely. I couldn't even pronounce the name, but I know it is what it is, and I bet money on it.
I bet money that Biden gave her the border.
Okay, so I mentioned the name. Make sure you're ready to cash app it if you want to make that bet.
No. I cash at me if Biden didn't give her the border.
Okay, so
it don't matter who had the wall.
Okay,
Biden gave her the border.
We always had an immigration problem. You understand? Because no candidate really wanted to deal with it. It's just always because there's a greater influx now because it's now on video and it's polarizing. You build the wall. Guess what they'll do? They'll do like the drug dealers. They'll make tunnels. You know how much tunnels you have on the border? Oh, no one researched that. That's how a lot of them get in the country. Okay, so now, policy-wise, your man came up on a debate and didn't have anything in place. Then now we're talking Agenda 47. He said,
He has
I'll give you something in 2 weeks.
Concepts.
You can't come up on no debate saying you have concepts. You talk about the Affordable Care Act. You were scoffing at it before you got into office. Even when in office, you did nothing about it. Now, it's still an issue on the table, and you have no proactive plan to fix it.
Just
so
real
you can't
quick,
really talk
Kenny.
about it.
He broke it up a little bit. He did do that. And it kind of fucked it up. But that's a different conversation. Go ahead.
Okay. But they were talking about it before he got into office. Them is them times when you was banging Obama when he did the State of the Union, said, let's roll up our sleeves and let's work on it together. But no, I remember a good old man named Mitch McConnell saying, we'll do everything in our power to make him a one-term president. We do remember that, right? And that's the same man that spun the block because Republicans was getting what they want. He stayed quiet. Now he's drifting. Should have dementia by now. He's 1 foot in the grave. But I have a personal gripe with people that champion Trump. The guys in the barbershops that be like, yo, he let some of my peoples out. But recidivism is real. Way on a major scale that did they make programs to keep them staying
1
out
minute,
of jail?
1 minute.
Okay, they don't want to because they know they're going to commit the same crimes and go back in because prison is big business. While he's doing that, throwing that chicken bone to you, he's putting 300 federal judges in place, 3 Superior Court that actually pardoned him so he wouldn't have to face certain charges. Checkmate. Let's not forget about Barron Cohen, Kavanaugh, the rapist, and the other one. Come on. But y'all looking at small things. You know, I bet you can't name your state congressman, representative, you know, your local guys around your way. But you got on a MAGA hat.
And I'm living good. So what are you talking about?
Right.
Disgusting.
I live good.
Right.
What are you talking about? I'm not affected by none of that.
All right, we got his let me read these super chats real quick. All right, Mr. Marriage, Politics, and Sports with the love of the game, $5. Appreciate that. My man Carl Anderson with the $5 says, if no babies are born, immigrants will fill the void for taxes and job vacancies. Kamala wins if females vote at a rate of 57%, which Roe v. may ensure.
That is her trump card.
All right.
Yeah.
Edie Man Williams with the $2 says, what is her plan for the middle class?
She don't have
She
one.
wants to grow small businesses.
She don't
That's
have
going to
one.
lift up the middle class.
Reese, get your head. We know you.
What does Trump want to do? He wants to decrease
She don't-
taxes
she don't
for big
have one.
corporations to 15%. How is that helping the middle class?
Go
Let's
read
get
Kamala
everybody.
tax plan and you're going to
He
regret it.
wants
All right,
to
hold on. We
decrease
gonna talk
taxes for
about-
big
hold
businesses to
Reese.
15%.
Reese, because of your vigor in the conversation, I've actually formulated a question. Once we get everybody, my man Fox Die is the last. He's gonna give his synopsis. 2 minutes. Then I got a question for the panel. We're gonna start with R. Payne and Beans. All right, Fox Die. What are your thoughts?
Glad to have the opportunity to be here, but I just disagree. I mean, everybody's like, it seems like there's this big push to put a woman in office, but to be honest with you, the greater arguments, they're not going to respect it. The other point of the matter is you got to look at her policies. I mean, I know Kenny, you big on that and Beans, but that's cool. But in terms of traditional politics, yeah, we can do the DEI discussion all night long. But in terms of leadership, it's kind of tricky. So when you look at her politics, it's not actually helping. Under Trump's administration, there were a lot of big upgrades in terms of HBCUs, in terms of stimulus, in terms of we got a lot of issues here, and we're just ignoring it because I think a lot of us just want to put a woman in office. And I get it. A lot of us married men, we have our ladies, you know, that we're connected to, but we got to make sure we understand that America was always founded on unorthodox principles. And when you're going against other countries, I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to leave it there, Trigger. Thanks for the time.
All right.
Let me ask him one question about what he said.
Yeah.
Fox, what was you said it was under Trump there was a big push for HBCUs. What was it?
Funding.
Well, he actually had a policy for men, right? You remember the Big Brother, My Brother's Keeper program, sir? Yeah, the biggest proponents that stopped that program, unfortunately, were women. He talked about that in his administration, to answer your question, sir. And moving forward, I haven't seen Kamala talk about programs for men. It's mostly she's been quoted online and in memes and in videos saying, I don't want to do something for just one section of people. I want to do for everybody. That sounds, magnanimous, but it's just, yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if you understood the question. What I asked was, what did he do for HBCUs specifically?
Well, I'm not
with all due respect, I'm not going to do your homework, but he did have a stimulus.
Well, you said it. It's not my homework. You said it. I'm just asking you what did
you sound aggressive, but I'm saying I'm not going to do your homework. I said it. You're right.
I can answer it for him, Beans, if you want me to.
No.
Yeah, I'm a science teacher. I don't do that. Nice try.
No, let him swing on that branch by himself.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Traylon. Traylon, go ahead.
Hold on. Right. With all due respect, when you put a point out there and somebody challenges your point, I find it to be your responsibility to back your point with facts. All he simply asked was, what did Trump do for HBCUs, considering you are the one, you brought that into the argument. I believe it's a fair question.
I got that, AP, if you let me respond, but like I'm gonna treat you like I treat my students. It's your responsibility, like I do with Google, to look that up.
All right.
So that's what we're gonna do.
All right. So here's what
that's what I'm gonna do, because we don't got that much time.
I got you.
I'm a grown man. Don't play with me.
All right. So let's
get to the question.
That sounds like some shit a woman would say, bro. Are we serious? That's some very feminine type shit. Don't play with me. Go play with your hair, bro. You kidding me? What are you talking about?
Nah, it's cool. Trigger want to ask the panel question. I'm gonna follow back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Outside of his ability or inability to answer the question, Trump did stuff for HBCUs. I mean, I think
you gonna repeat it?
What was it? As black people, stop
all right.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Shame language. That's church talk.
Trump let out Kodak Black.
What's the question, Mike? What's the question?
Let out a couple rappers and got happy. That's all he did.
Come on, man.
Niggas get happy easily.
Come on, man.
Come on, Reese.
These y'all high value guys. I just
want to wear MAGA hats. MAGA hats.
Right.
So what? He got a MAGA hat on. So what?
All right. So
and I'm gonna keep repping it.
Trump moved the federal historically HBCU initiative to the White House. He signed into law the Future Act, making permanent $255 million in annual funding for HBCUs and increased funding for the federal program. Signed legislation that included more than $100 million for scholarships, research, and centers of excellence at HBCU.
I'm gonna go back to grading my papers.
And fully forgave $322 million in disaster loans for 4 HBCUs in 2018, so they could fully focus on educating their students.
Thank you.
And lastly, enabled.
They want to answer, so why don't you be quiet and let them talk, man?
Hold on. Enabled faith-based HBCUs to enjoy equal access to federal support. That is from the National Archives.
Got you.
So first of all, wasn't that law started by Obama?
Come on, Reese.
Come on, Reese, man. We just read the damn thing, man.
And Trump just continued it.
Yeah,
like is this shit helping the numbers or something?
That's correct. He expanded it, Rise.
That's what I heard.
Rise, he expanded
it. No more money.
We get so emotional over policies, we guys. I was
y'all ain't no fucking emotional over politics. Niggas just fucking
regardless
retarded.
of the question answered or not, we got to keep it factual, right? So this is politics, and they lie a lot. Like we don't want to lie here. So here's the question I got. We're gonna start with Mr. Payne because what is it?
Bro, okay, you're saying keep it factual, but you just didn't keep it factual, right?
Yeah, because you didn't want to look it up.
You just made us because I already fucking knew, dumbass.
Oh, now
and I was trying to prove that your stupid ass didn't know what the fuck
you
was talking about.
Oh,
which you just did,
black man.
Bro, Trig, out of that 250 million, do you know how much of that actually goes to HBCUs?
I don't know.
Okay, see, I do, because unlike stupid ass people, I don't talk about shit I don't know about. Only 80 million of that.
I work with your youth, but
only 80. You don't work with my motherfucker son. He wouldn't be in your class. Only 80 million of that goes to HBCUs. 100 million of that actually goes to Hispanic serving institutions.
You feel better?
Yeah, I do, because I like facts, dumbass. I don't like just saying shit out loud.
Hey, I'm not Briggs. I got a rebuttal, Briggs.
I don't have to insult people, brother.
Hey, Trigger.
Traylon, please hold on for 1 second. No, you don't have to insult people. You just be disingenuous by not asking questions that were formed by statements you made out of your own mouth. Mr. Fucking professional teacher.
I am.
You started this asshole bullshit when you refused to answer my legitimate question. So don't try to act like you above it all now, man.
Who's feminine?
I'm gonna do like
you nigga, because you didn't want to answer.
Can I give y'all
Trigger? Can you fact check that, Trigger?
You nigga, that's who.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You could have answered a simple question.
Can we talk about how
You
Trump
lead
handled
the
the
conversation.
economy?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trey. I'm done. Go ahead, Trey.
I really want to. I genuinely want to know.
All right, hold up, middle class, y'all. Because I completely forgot. Beans reminded me of something. Beans reminded me that because I didn't know what the fuck a Hispanic colleges and future was. I forgot them shits existed.
Yo, Beans, take your pressure medicine, please.
I was like, Hispanic what?
Don't want your gout acting up.
After that shit was enacted by Trump, it was reversed by Biden. Biden, I think, is the one that sent that money.
That's why I got quiet. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, Biden is the one that sent that. He like took it, and he basically pitted HBCUs and Hispanic colleges against each other. But we can break down that into a subtopic if we want to.
Okay.
But let's keep it moving for the audience.
Yeah,
because y'all spat. It's just gonna go on forever. All right. Each man on this panel, I need y'all to ask an individual question. I'm gonna give y'all about 1 minute. How do you, and when I mean you, I mean the individual you. So you don't have to really say who you voting for, but it's like, remember, most people are actually one issue voters. I think the men here are more intelligent than that. We can actually explain, but a large majority of people are one issue voters. All right. So how do you benefit from your vote for either candidate or either party? How do you specifically benefit, and explain that to the chat? Payne, you go first.
Well, listen, you know what? Here's my thing. You know, sometimes people vote for a candidate and then they vote against another candidate in terms of what's the most important for them.
He said you.
I mean, and well, you know, just chill out, Kenny. You have your turn to make an idiot out of yourself. Let me just say what I gotta say. All right, I had to say it. Listen, man. You know what? So, listen, I've seen so many presidential elections, and I started thinking about how we give our votes to the Democrats. So, I didn't vote for Trump, and I think I voted. Whoever voted. I didn't vote for Trump back in when he first won the election. I didn't think he was a great candidate, but yeah, because I didn't know anything about him. But I voted for Obama because he was black. I could admit that. It turns out that I like the way a couple of things he did afterwards, because I thought he saved the country in terms of the economics, and so I voted for him again. So, but I didn't know he was to become a champion for the LBGYNs or whatever, the Alphabet Mafia, or because I thought that was one of his biggest takeaways. So anyway, but this year I wanted to not vote for the Democrats, right? And I still haven't decided whether I'm gonna just give my vote to the Trump, Stein, or anybody else. I just think that black men need to break away from the Democratic Party because they've done nothing for us for 60 years. I think our communities have been worse. I think they sell us a bill of goods just for our votes, and when it comes time for them to pay back, they don't give a shit, man. We're not a part. Mike, your whole opening line was that there's nothing in it for men in general on the Democrat side. But for black men, forget it. There's absolutely nothing in there for us. And if you think about it, if you have any more moral fiber and things like the thing that they champion, you'll get your turn too, Reese. Just chill out. The thing that they champion, just give me another 30 seconds. Things like taking away parents' rights so kids can have gender affirming care or gender change or go to clinics and get their sex changes and shit like that. You can't have that, right? A lot of stupid ass things that they're doing. I just can't stand the fact that they've lost their way. And they're not for the middle class. They're for the elitists. Look at all the goddamn people that they put out in front of you to get your votes.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, so look at all of these so-called celebrities who haven't had to stand for a grocery in their home for years, telling you how to live. I mean, all that shit is just all a game.
4 seconds.
Right. Kenny, you a-hole, you know that.
I'm not.
I'm done.
Yeah. All right, Beans.
Man, I don't subscribe to the ideology that voting for either party affects me in any kind of way. I think that there are people external from this political parties that run the actual country, maybe even the world, and that those decisions are made, regardless to who's in office, and that the people who are put in office are usually put there, just as puppets or whatever you want to call it. It's just a shit show, and that if the country, because like when people talk about the alphabet people, right? My question is always, did Trump do anything to undermine the alphabet people? I never get a clear answer on that, right? So if he's not stopping the movement, even if you arguing that he ain't facilitating it, they still can facilitate it, particularly if the wealthiest people in the country are the ones funding their movements anyway. So it don't matter who the president is, they still gonna get their agendas through. It's like, that's why I don't understand why we get so emotional about who's the president. But I will say, if I was going to vote, I absolutely would vote for Trump. Because I don't think we should have a woman that's president. I don't, and if we did, it's not this one, right? There may be Michelle Alexander would probably be the one woman off the top of my head that I would vote for.
Who the fuck is that?
That's my point.
I gotta do more Googling and shit.
That's my point, right? So Michelle Alexander is the author.
Damn, she fine. What the fuck? That's why you want her as president.
Nah, but it's the way that she thinks, right? Because specifically, she's the author of the book, The New Jim Crow, right? So the one thing I know about her,
I know who she is. That's why I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yes. So the one thing that I know about her, she ain't nobody's feminist, right? So if it is true that presidents actually get to install policies, I know whatever she did, it would be good for the good of the people.
Okay. See, I like when people articulate themselves like that.
Polarizing. I like that.
I want Candace Owens to run for president personally, but that's a long time from now. She's my Michelle Alexander.
Next in line is a Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
You better
he
not
don't
say
give a damn. He want all
Man,
Nigeria.
you guys been talking nonstop. You won't let me talk.
No, Jesus Christ.
You got your 2 minutes. How do you benefit
fighting
from
and
your
fussing
vote
and
by the
shit?
candidate?
Man, I don't even understand you guys no more. How's everyone doing? Now I get to talk.
Yeah, man.
So,
2 minutes, not 20.
You know what? Somebody else talk because I got to get my Bluetooth to work again. You guys got my Bluetooth disconnected because you didn't let me talk. Somebody else should go ahead and talk next.
And we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear, man.
Look at God. Won't he do it?
You got a minute and 30 seconds now. You just take it up top.
Come back to it, man.
Any fucking pros. Look at God. It was that hairline that did it. All right. Look at it.
Won't he do it?
Damn. All right. Traylon.
Hey, what's good? Hey, Beans, smart decision, my brother.
Man,
all right, real quick though. It really doesn't affect me. I'm thinking more like my children and down the line, because when I look at what BRICS is trying to do, and I understand that when Trump was in office, and then not only that, he's actually talked about it recently that he would dismantle what they're trying to do. If you look last week, they actually had 159 countries that signed up for their payment process. And so they're working behind closed doors, trying to tank the US dollar. And since I live in America, that in the future, if BRICS becomes a dominant entity to be able to devalue the dollar, then my kids and my grandkids will be affected in the future. So my whole thing is just right now that I know for sure that Trump will kind of delay that and push that back. Just like if you understand that when Trump was in office, he wouldn't let China buy oil from Iran because he put tariffs on China. Would say, hey, listen, if y'all buy oil from Iran, then we gonna charge y'all, put 100% tariff on y'all. So he disrupted a lot of things that they were trying to do. And if you understand what happened with Iran, when the Biden administration actually funded them, then that's how we got October the 7th, because Iran was actually broke. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a rabbit hole if you go look down of these countries and how that we continue to give billions and billions of dollars to Gaza, to Ukraine. Well, we tried to give it to Gaza. That's why they actually shut down their bipartisan border bill, because it was hid in there to give Gaza and Israel money and fund Ukraine. So it's a lot of things going on when it comes to foreign domestic policy that in the future, I understand it'll affect this country in a negative way. So that's why I'm standing up for Trump, because I'm not a Republican at all.
All right. I've been waiting.
Okay, now
Oh shit, he back.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Trigger Mike. Then I will talk. You want me to go now, or you want me to
No.
talk
You got it.
first?
2 minutes. How do you benefit from your
Okay.
vote for?
Number one, let me respond to Trey. Trey, let me tell you this: you can't stop BRICS. They far gone. Nothing can stop them. Trump can't even slow BRICS down. They far gone. You can't. A single country with a couple of allies cannot stop 120 something countries. It doesn't happen. The dollar is gone. Okay, the dollar is gone. Forget about that. 20 years ago, yes, I would have believed you. But now, no, it's gone. I'm into foreign policy all the time. So I'll tell you, if you understand BRICS, forget about that. But then, I gotta say this, right? You guys are thinking that Trump is going to win the election. Based on what I've seen what I've seen, Trump will come close to winning this election. Is not going to be able to do that because there is no enthusiasm out there that much for Trump, other than from black men and a couple of white men. Even white men don't really have that much enthusiasm in him. Not that they're not going to vote for him, but there is no enthusiasm in this election. The people that have the enthusiasm for this election are usually mostly black women and other women. Most men have no enthusiasm in this election. Black men have a high enthusiasm for Trump. I'll tell you that for sure. But that is not enough to win for Trump election. And then for the vice presidential candidate that you guys think that guy is the governor in the reddest of the red states. They love him. I don't know how. I don't know why. But they love him. That's why they elected him twice. He's the governor of the reddest of the red state in the United States. I'm not talking about Oklahoma. I'm talking about a red state where there is no, maybe like 2% white black people. That's what they got there. So she knows exactly why she picked him. If she had picked the governor
30
of
seconds.
Pennsylvania, for the guy that said that she should have picked the governor of Pennsylvania, that was not a good deal. Not now, because of what is going on in the Middle East. She would divide the Democratic Party. Half of the Democratic Party don't even want this and don't want this stuff, and half of them are okay because America is behind it. But I got to tell you, there is a reason why she didn't pick it, and I know a lot of people because here in Dallas they had a Democratic AKA convention, and most of them didn't want her to pick him because they knew what was going to happen.
So Trigger,
All right.
I don't think
Hold
people
on,
can
real
have
quick,
one
man. Hold on,
question.
real quick. I gotta let me read these super chats. Then I'm all right. So
Hey, you want me to
Marriage
read some
Politics
text?
Reports with the $5 says Beans Trump does have a stance against the alphabet mafia, especially their attacks on children. He does. My man Advanced Perception with the $5 says Blexit does need to happen, but we need to start our own party. We have broken promises on the left, overt bigotry on the right, both full of shit. I'm gonna just say something, y'all. If you look at the economic engine that is the Democratic and Republican Party, there is no third party to face them. Every party that has ever formed against those two was gone in about 2 election cycles. The Green Party is the only one that has stood around longer than that, and they still can't scratch the surface on what those people are doing. Remember, these are economically driven super PACs. There's no way, unless you just know a trillionaire that's going to create a third party, you cannot fight the
But Mike,
Democrats.
the population is becoming increasingly independent, though.
Yeah,
The population is.
That's a strong we'll see. But let me say something to what.
Let me ask one question, Trey. What does that mean?
What?
When
I just said,
when they becoming more independent.
Well, because what I'm saying is, I think their allegiances may give rise to seeds that could plan a new third party, because it depends on. Because a lot of those independent people are like in the middle of where the far right is and the far left. So the compromises are where those independents lie. So you actually have to vie for their votes for them to vote for you, either Republican or Democrat. If there's an independent candidate that can get a greater part of those votes, you might be able to sway elections. You could do that in 1 cycle, 2 cycles, or maybe. I remember the Perot effect, and he self-destructed, but he was going to be a force against the two parties, and that was in our lifetime.
So, Trigger, can I answer the question before y'all go down that rabbit hole?
No, real quick. Let me just make. Yeah. Wait. Who's next after?
It would be scam likely, but you move people around.
Wait, were you next or scam?
Scam.
All right, so let me just say this to Ikene's point. You said there's not enthusiasm for this election. I'm gonna tell you what I've seen. I have not seen one single Harris Wall sticker, bumper sticker. I have not seen one single Harris Walls flag. I'm not joking. And Houston, Texas is actually extremely Democratic. The outskirts, when you go into where I shoot, yeah, of course, that's Trump. They've actually had Trump 2024 since 2021. They had those flags up a long time. I only see Trump flags. And I think the guy who has no enthusiasm, so to speak, it's because his voting people already know who the fuck. Already know they've been voting for him. Like, I don't see enthusiasm on the other end. And it's actually pretty scary how the Trump mob, because somebody has said something before, like Trump this, Trump that, Trump think about this, because you were right. The Republicans turned on him. He lost key voting blocks, and he still got 74 million fucking votes. You see what I'm saying? Everything you said was right, and he still got more votes than Barack Obama. So I need everybody to chill on Trump enthusiasm. Nobody voted for Trump. His people come out the woodwork. They'll drive tractors to the goddamn polls.
Hey, Trigger, you know something else I found out? Trigger, you know something else I found out? A lot of people that's voting for Trump not even talking about it. They just gonna vote for him when they go to the polls.
They don't talk, bro, at all. In fact, I'll put it to you this way: that he found, y'all know his ground game is ridiculous, right? And it's been like that. His ground game is ridiculous. I went to earlier this month. What is it? Still September? Yeah. Earlier this month, I had to go recertify as a licensed to carry instructor in Austin, Texas. Every time I go to anything gun related in Texas, I'm like a chocolate drop on a sugar cookie.
I'm in Texas too, Trigger.
Nothing but, like white Trump supporters everywhere. And they always stop talking when they see me talking, because they like, what does this do? What is his political affiliation? But that's how they talk. They talk about, like, that's their one issue. Obviously, all Second Amendment people, they don't give a damn. They don't want to hear nothing about Kamala Harris. She represents taking their guns away. So these people are already resolved to do what they're going to do. You're not going to get much enthusiasm out of them. They've had their minds made up for years.
Ain't nobody taking no guns.
Isn't that the same thing as
Come on now, let's stop that.
Hold on real quick. Say that again.
I didn't say nothing.
No, he was talking to Kenny. Oh. Are you talking to me?
No, you said you said a question. Isn't that something like that?
Yeah, I was saying, isn't that the same thing as black people voting for Democrats, right? Because we
but
get
that
every election cycle that the Democrats are coming to take your guns away. Like,
yeah, let me say this. So black women voting for Kamala Harris has already been, voting Democrat is already sewed up. The interesting part about it now is that I don't think, you remember, there are a significant amount of black men that have not voted, that don't vote. Mm-hmm. What I think they're worried about now is that the projected amount of black men that do vote for Trump could be as high as 26%.
That's a fact.
Could be as high. So now they're like, oh shit, black men are now a key voting block that may make up that. What did Biden win by? 8 million? Like, it's one of those tipping scale type. Even if it's 1 million, to them is significant.
What was it?
So it depends on the states.
Yeah, so I won't say it's sewn up. The black woman vote is sewn up, but now we're seeing a rise in Trump enthusiasm from black men. Which they
let me ask you this, because I feel like you might know. And I'm starting to see this connection now with this Southern thing. Y'all think whatever's going on with y'all at, that's what the rest of the country look like. I'll agree with you though. I don't think I've seen one Harris sticker
I
or flag.
haven't seen one, bro. I haven't
I've seen
that
a
one.
bunch. I'm in New
But
York.
I ain't
I've seen a bunch.
outside like that either, though. I ain't outside like that either.
And if you're
You
in
know what
New
else
York,
I
y'all
seen?
should hate Harris.
You know what else I seen, Kenny? I seen food stamp cards on all the migrants in New York too.
Okay,
so let me ask you this, because that's why I was about to ask.
That's not federal. That's local.
That's why you see Harris Wall stickers out there.
Okay,
this what I was about to ask you too, right? Because we are behind the Hispanics now as far as numbers go demographically, right? It's like 60-some million of them, right? Unless we're saying that, because I keep hearing this number, like I want to ask the brother about the 11 million comment he made, right? Is it 11 million illegal immigrants? Like what percentage of that 60+ million aren't voting? Like what? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. We keep making it seem like the black vote means so much, but we don't even have the numbers the Mexicans have. So I shouldn't say Mexicans.
But they're actually not monolithic in voting like we are. There is a large
Latinos.
Exactly. The Latinx.
No, that's wrong. Hispanics.
Okay.
Okay. So you said
those people. Get it right though, because if you look at monoliths, they different.
They different. There are a lot of them are conservative too. The boot wearing,
the Cubans are conservatives.
Cowboy hat wearing, them dudes ain't voting for no Kamala.
The Cubans are definitely conservatives.
Yeah,
and the song.
Wait. I'm just trying to understand, y'all, real quick.
It's huge.
So you saying that their vote doesn't necessarily swing anything because of that?
No,
we're saying
they're
that
more conservative.
They're more split up. Yeah, they're voting block. Like you can't pin them. You can't pin a certain group of them.
So
you can't depend on them to swing anything because it's like 50-50. We can't even depend on that. But with black people,
Beans, I got an answer for you, Beans. I got an answer for you, right? The black vote though is significant because of where we are, depending on the swing states. Some of the swing states, even though we're low in numbers, we can sway some of the swing states. The biggest
that's what I'm asking. So that's the difference between our vote and their vote.
That is he's right. That's the difference. So Virginia, the DMV area, Northern Virginia and 757 are like black as hell. So they make up what's going to happen in Virginia. What other state is there? Michigan, the black vote significant swing state.
North Carolina,
Pennsylvania,
North Carolina.
Yeah, the black vote doesn't matter. You're right.
Wisconsin,
I think I missed y'all, but I think somebody was talking about it earlier that the Democratic Party is not taking into consideration what Jill Stein and the Green Party is doing, taking away votes, because in a lot of those battleground swing states, she's actually winning in a lot of, but people don't even take her numbers into consideration. So if you don't do research on her, she's taking away a lot of the votes on the Democratic Party.
She's not moving numbers like that. Her percentages don't go past
okay, bro.
That's all you need is
numbers. In Michigan, bro, go look at Michigan, bro. I promise you.
Hold up. But Kenny, listen, you're right. But what it is that I think that's why Angela Rye was going at her the way she was, is because the people that she does take, that's the people Harris needs. So I was like, why is this lady going in on her like this? It's because she's taking away the votes Harris needs to keep those states that Biden flipped on Trump.
That's speculation.
Trigger. So watch this. So this is what people don't understand. The Green Party was taken away from Kamala Harris, and RFK was taken away from Trump.
Oh, that's right. And RFK gave his votes to Trump.
Exactly.
So that Green Party vote is kind of significant, man. They're a key voting, but let's get Scam in here.
We fall.
Hold up. Let's we gotta be courteous. Scam didn't even get to talk. For real. Let's get him.
Scam look like he sleeps standing up.
Yeah. How do you benefit specifically? Scam, how do you benefit from your vote for either candidate?
Good evening, everyone.
Tell Day they give you back your bike.
Oh no, you don't. Don't make me have to use the Jesus mic. Come on now. As I was saying, as usual, a whole bunch of people making big deals about little things. I won't be voting this election. Just about 2-3 hours going and driving and sitting and watching the news and who gonna do this, gonna do that. They ain't gonna do nothing. And if you in life, it ain't because some illegal creating cross the border. It's just because you suck. If you're getting your ass whooped by an illegal, that's your problem. You've been over here and you can't be the damn illegal. Man, they coming across the border. The free money. No, you just suck. That's just the truth. Now, if you're going to look at policies and it is, if you go look every 4 years, the things change a little bit here and there, but the world looks the same. Same people fat, same people ugly, same people broke. Go look at them and say, hey, how can I benefit from this candidate? Because you don't get to choose who wins. When they win and when they make a policy, how can I go make some money? How can I do something? Or how can I get on the internet crying and whining about who's whooping that ass? The women's, they whooping our ass. The illegals, same people. And people over here like me snickering and laughing. Kenny gonna be over here crying because the illegals whooping his ass. I don't know what they did. He got wrinkles on his forehead, 6 chins, 4 bellies. I don't know what the problem is. But you might want to invest into this neck pillow. It's very comfortable. It's good for the neck. And it'll keep you nice, slim, and trim. That's all I got. Back to the windmilling and back to the dust and the whining.
You kill me with the women's comments, bro.
But no, I won't be voting. I got better things to do. I could do something productive with those 2-3 hours. Look up something, learn something, or actually the thing people are allergic to, actually doing something for yourself.
Cam, can I ask you a quick question? Just a quick question. You don't have any kids, do you?
No.
Okay. That's all.
I want to know if he live in a group home. I see that chalkboard.
Well, one of the, and Trigger hadn't gotten around to me yet, but one of the things that I consider when he says, how does it affect you personally? Well, if you implement a draft and you have a war, your kid is taking their ass over to fight. I personally would love to avoid that at all costs.
Thanks.
When the last time we had a draft? Y'all just be stretching. When the last
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, y'all are just doing stuff.
Whoa. The number. See, this is that shit. This is that shit that niggas need to educate themselves on.
Yeah.
You're correct. Wait, one second. Let me. Whoa.
If you want to keep
Hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. What are the numbers? Are the numbers down for all branches? Yes or no?
Do you want to
yes or no?
You want me,
no. The answer is yes. The numbers are down for all branches.
Why?
Why? Whoa. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get to my point.
Not in war.
I'm gonna give you.
Right.
You don't want.
That's the point I make. Jesus Christ. That is the point. That's the point I make. You're right. We're not at war now. But what happens? See, you're a dumbass. You actually get on my nerves sometimes, and you're funny.
No,
which makes me laugh at times. You refuse to hear a valid. You refuse to hear a valid point. I've been wrong a million times, and I accept it. But what happens is you get on this. Oh, but the women and all these guys. You ain't listening. Oh, ain't shit. And those windmilling. See, you be on that bullshit. I'm trying to answer it for you since you wouldn't answer. The answer is yes, the numbers are down. The reason why it's important, the reason why that's important and how it pertains to drafting, if you look at what's happening now, the current state of things, the president absolutely matters, which is why your vote will matter, which is why it's personal to me when I have a son that is of draft age and it could happen. That's not a windmill. That's a fact, sir.
Well, can I respond to that?
Trigger Mark, let me answer the question. He asked it to me and brought the dust. Here's the deal.
You want the response too, bro.
No, you want the truth. They ain't drafted in the 60s and 70s. They're not going to do it because it was ineffective. That's common sense. Number two, since y'all hate the illegal so much, Americans are too fat, kind of like you with that tight ass shirt on, too dumb, and they smoke too much and can't even qualify for the very military that they're complaining about. Americans can't even produce a efficient enough product to get into the military.
It's fucking stupid.
They look like you. You don't draft people who don't want to go into the military. You incentivize people who do. It's been that way for the longest.
Stupidest shit I've heard in a long time.
I'm right.
I want to keep talking about a draft.
I do want to keep talking. See, I can attack you personally if you want me to.
Hold
You
on, but hold on
started.
one second.
When you
Cause
talking,
I
when you
had
talk
to
about your
listen.
fucked up
Over y'all
sideways
ass.
ass
Don't do
nose,
it, AP.
and
AP, don't do it, bro.
Listen, hold on. I just
AP,
Enough
goddamn.
of these
All right,
niggas on the panel already. Don't
Kenny,
do it.
Kenny,
hold
2
on.
minutes,
Let
my
me
man.
answer. Hold on,
my
can I answer
Man,
the
apologies.
question?
My
you guys are
apologies.
becoming women,
You got
man.
to get
Come
your
on, talk
time
like
back.
men,
Hey,
man.
Reese,
Talk like
I
men.
got Reese in the back. My bad. Kenny,
Okay.
you gonna go?
Yeah,
Please, 2
you
minutes.
said
Again, my
Please,
apologies, guys.
Kane, please keep that. I'm gonna let Reese back up. Kenny, you got it for 2 minutes. How do you benefit from your vote for either party?
Hey, come on, man. Don't do that.
What?
Listen, no matter who you put in office at this present time, how I'm invested, hey, Scam, I'm still going to retire, God willing, in the next 2 years. My investments have been doing in the last 5 years, 11.7. Last year, it's done 19.3 in the Dow Jones. I am financially certified. I have been in communications for 30 years. I've voted Democrat, mostly blindly. I'm not going to tell you aspirations and stories like Payne, who has never really voted favoring conservative, but now you want to make a switch and give a speech for everybody to follow your ranks and do it with you. You do it first. You understand? I know what suits me in the country. No matter who's in office, there are people behind them. They have handlers. They don't make all the decisions. But we need someone to make America be
Great
that.
again. Okay.
Yeah, no, America be that thing that's respected. We can't honestly say other countries respected us when Trump was in office. We brokered deals. Some of them were bad, and some of them that he did break up, they actually favored us. We shouldn't be footing the bill for most places, but the reason we were footing the bill for most places because we had bases, embassies, and we were doing things in those places, and that was the fair trade-off. But nobody wants to talk about that. Everything's just trade-offs and compromises. You can't just go in a person's country, just plop an embassy, walk around there with your dick swinging like you the man. But we've been doing that since the beginning of time.
This guy have no idea.
But for us to be on this internet talking the way we do, in other countries, you probably get thrown out a window or snatched out your house. There's a lot of people that ate sins for us to live like this. Tomb of Unknown Soldiers and other people. But I watched something during the Trump regime. That's what I'm going to call it. I've seen stuff in my 52 years of life in this country that I've never seen before. I watched him call for people to commit a coup on January 6th, and they went and did it. I seen him say there were good people on both sides when the Tiki Torch boys was down there. I know your family knows David Duke intimately. Your pops was at them Klan rallies. You've done stuff. I've never seen a man get permission from Rupert. Who owned the Post back then when he took that 2-page article out to execute 5 innocent black youths? And that was rife with corruption to the top of the New York Police Department. During his presidency, they asked him, oh, they got exonerated. He said they probably did something. You think he gives 2 crap about you, and I'm putting feeling into it. No. Both of them are bad. Biden, 94 crime bill. Hillary, calling us super predators. I got fans still in jail on some 3 strikes for drugs. I was a lucky one. You understand? I am not voting for that man, and I'll make it real quick because I have fundamental things that I'm solid on. I'm not going to vote for somebody that denigrate my people like that. The other one did, but you know what? You got to pick one.
So here's the thing, right? Hold on. So here's the thing. Either man, I know you've been waiting to get in there. Kenny, I just got one question, and then either man, you could jump right in. So would you say that more than voting for Kamala, you're voting against Trump? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Because and I'm not doing it ignorantly to put context to it. I gave the reference before as for when he's throwing his chicken bones, he's putting things that are proactively, actively in fruition right now. He's able to get pardoned because he put 3 Superior Court judges in place. You understand? He put 300 federal prosecutors in place that can keep those people that don't look like us in power.
No doubt. Let's go ahead and get E in here. Come on, E.
Those are good points. I don't even argue those, Kenny. But I don't mean to interject. I'm just saying, Kenny, great points.
That's my own thing, and I'm not knocking out nobody else. That's how I feel.
His points weren't that great, but they sounded good.
Yeah, like you read, like wait, like you read Agenda 47. You can't even tell me your point about it. You just like to be polarized.
Let's keep going, man. I mean, I can read it right off of Google. Once I can memorize it,
I'm just saying.
Relax,
E, go ahead.
So hopefully I keep the intellectual standard of podcast in my response. I really hope so. But first of all, I vote with hope. And I know this might sound crazy, is I believe that maybe Trump can do it again. Maybe Trump can get the interest rate from homes from 7% down to 2%. The $25,000 doesn't matter if you're paying 7% interest rate. I actually vote to say, what if he can do it again? What if he can create a world where we didn't have any major wars going on nowhere for 4 years? What if he can create that type of lifestyle again? What if Donald Trump, and because the funny part about hearing you guys talk, the simple question was, why are you choosing your candidate? And what I learned by listening, most of y'all don't have a reason to choose y'all candidate. Y'all
I have a reason.
Hold on. No. Listen, excuse me, sir. I thought this was my 2 minutes. I'll take 1 minute and 30 seconds so you can respond because I know you feel like you're triggered. All right. What I asked myself is, what if we can get gas to $3 in some states like Texas down to $2 again? What if my grandmother can afford to be able to go buy steak and chicken again and she don't have to go call me or have to find other ways to be able to feed herself? So the only question that I ask myself is, from 2016 to 2020, I saw middle-class people buying homes. I saw all of the effects of things happening where people was able to get jobs, low unemployment rate, and I don't even know if Trump going to do it. But one thing that I can say about Trump is he sat down with Ice Cube and he's implemented the platinum plan for the black people. Now we can argue, will he do it or will he be able to commit to his word?
Black yen.
Hold on. I got y'all guys.
Short answer, he's not going to do shit.
Just keep going. Come on, y'all, man. This
shit. Let him finish, y'all.
Come on, go ahead.
So the point that I'm saying is, I come with the hope that maybe he can do it again. The reason he had to fire his whole staff is because he was the first modern president we have ever seen go against what his party was saying do. He was the first modern president who I believe wasn't controlled by money because he actually had the money. So I just have the hope that maybe he can do it again. Maybe he can make it where he can make it where it's just affordable for Americans again. And that's truthfully and honestly what I see and what I actually hope that and why I'm choosing Donald Trump as president for 2024.
So let me
made some valid points.
Let me ask this question, right? Let me ask this question, right? Because earlier it was mentioned that when Donald Trump lost the race in 2020, that his party turned on him. But now Eda Man is saying that he went against his own party. So is
his
that
own vice president turned on him? His own vice president.
Come on, Trig. How much I gotta pay to keep this motherfucker away, bro? This shit is retarded.
I said one thing in 20 minutes.
It don't matter.
Nah,
Rich, let me talk.
I jump in. I said one
hold
thing.
On, y'all. We're doing a lot of cutting off. Hold on, y'all. And
you know, I didn't get my turn
hold
yet.
on,
Beans got his turn. I
to
didn't get my turn.
Fair, Beans, to be fair, both can be true at the same time. Both can be true at the same time.
Okay.
Because what it both. So you're right. He did from Mitch McConnell to Paul Ryan. Like everybody was turning on him, but they were doing. Some of them were doing it on the slide. Some of them were doing it in the opens. In the open, only a few people said, like, I'm leaving the party of Trump again, but then they all fell in line when it came time to.
But is it? Let's not do 50.
No. What it was is like
he went against what they wanted.
Often, I mean, sometimes he did. Sometimes he did throughout his presidency. He did, but remember, you remember when people were saying this was the biggest criticism of Trump when they thought he was unraveling. Trump isn't. They'd be like, Trump isn't pro-Republican. He's pro-Trump. So that's what they meant. He doing his own thing the way he want to do it. He's not doing it the way the party wants to do it. So that's when they started to turn against him 2019 going into 2020.
Yeah, because so a lot of people of the Republican Party was against him going into NATO and asking for other countries to be able to hold their financial weight. As a lot of people said, no, don't do that. And he said, no, the United States is not about to fit this bill. I'm going to go in and we're going to hold other countries to be accountable in this NATO. And so a lot of people turned because he couldn't be a puppet. If we one thing we can agree is that he was not the puppet and he could not be controlled like we normally see with politicians. And I think a lot of people didn't like that because their agenda could not get painted. He actually, in my opinion, was actually helping the American people in that time and what was best for them, because that's why he forfeited his salary. He didn't want a salary because he wanted to be able to do what he wanted to do, regardless if you agree that.
That's why he reduced taxes for the rich people and big corporations. That's why he did that, right?
We're gonna chop it up. Let's get Fox in there.
I didn't get my turn yet. I'm still waiting.
Anderson, he gonna get
your turn. You next. You next.
Let him get his turn, bro.
He didn't get his turn yet. He didn't get his turn.
Get his turn, bro.
Hey, I thought I left him with talk.
No, he was in the back.
Reese, get yours.
Yeah.
And wait, real quick, throw in the emoluments clause why his kids was in the White House making money. Throw that in so either man could do some research.
Hold on. Listen, hold on.
Either man, just let him respond real quick, bro. Just let him respond.
All right,
go ahead, Reese. Go ahead, Reese.
I just want to start by saying Payne said that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they want to make transgender kids have sex surgery and that the parents get locked up if they don't affirm it. That's a lie. They never ever proposed that ever. And actually, statistics say 47% of Republicans agree with homosexual marriage. So that whole conservative stuff, that's a thing of the past. They don't exist no more because half of Republicans agree with homosexual marriage. So
do you agree with homosexual
miss
marriage?
me with that conservative stuff. Miss me with it.
Do you
and number
miss
two?
me? Yeah.
Number two. Just the mere effects that Trump's plans could have on the economy. That's enough for me not to vote for him. That's enough. 60% tariffs on foreign goods. How the hell you think that's going to look like in a grocery store? You trying to buy some food or products from the grocery store, and it's double the price, triple the price, because this idiot wants to put a 60% tariff on something coming from China or a foreign country that we're probably not friends with, Mexico. He wants to reduce he wants to reduce taxes for big corporations down to 15%. So if you reduce taxes for big corporations, that's going to raise taxes for the lower and middle class, because we have to carry that weight of the taxes, while the big corporations get to live in their mansions and penthouses. Number three, he wants to deport 11 million people from the country. Are you insane? If you think that's going to have a positive effect on the economy, you must be smoking something special. Some special type of crack you must be smoking. That's going to have a positive effect on the economy. So those three things alone will make me not want to vote for this man.
Okay,
if he was so special as a president, he would have got reelected in 2020. If he was so good as a president, he would have got reelected in 2020. I don't want to hear nothing about no COVID.
This
we
dude
did not
don't know nothing about
because
inflation.
we didn't think he was a good president.
Beans, this dude don't know what he's talking about, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was not a good president.
Reese, do me a favor. I need you to substantiate the 11 million comment, because you said that earlier.
He personally said that himself. He said it's going to be the biggest deportation in American history.
I'm asking you to substantiate the fallout from it.
First, okay. If you don't think that's going to have a negative impact on jobs, on the economy, even socially, you're separating people from their families, mothers and children. Socially, that's negative. Just socially, forget the economy. Socially, that's gonna have a negative impact. Dreamers. He doesn't want to do nothing for dreamers.
Obama did though.
He doesn't want to do nothing for dreamers. The whole 4 years he was in office, the dream
Reese, we got your rant. We heard that part.
Right.
Now we're asking you to substantiate, right? So you said what you said, right? Now somebody is saying to you, hey, Obama got rid of almost that many.
No, he got rid of the most ever.
Well, I think Obama's was 8 though, wasn't it?
But see, we talk about what Trump might do, and we talk about what Obama did.
No, this comes from the horse's mouth himself.
It's
He said he
okay.
wants to deport 11 million
It's
people.
okay. The fact of the matter is he saying that Trump said it or whatever? Let's say he does it. Okay, he gets rid of 11 million. I'm saying, what's the fallout? Because you yelling it out as something that's problematic. I'm telling you right now, it's not a good ass idea to me. But that's why I'm asking for people like myself who might not understand. Like, if you asking me to cry for some kids who might lose their parents, I won't. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
And Beans, watch this real quick. Beans, hold on.
thing.
Let me bring Reese,
A
but
lot
Reese,
of black
hold
people
on.
in this
Reese,
country.
let me say something.
Wait. We have a newfound hatred for immigrants, particularly immigrants of color. I noticed that a lot of black people in this country,
What?
in this day.
Stay on topic.
Wait, can you stop
but
cutting me
watch
off?
this.
Stop cutting me off.
All right,
Hey, yo,
just
you got
listen.
immigrants.
His 2 minutes are over, ain't it?
Yeah.
A lot of black people in this country have a hatred for immigrants.
Let me say one point.
That's why you see a whole bunch of black folks rooting for Trump. Because we have a hatred for immigrants. I've noticed.
All right, Reese.
I've noticed.
Time's up, Reese.
That's the only reason I voted for Trump.
I got you.
That's the only reason.
That's what I'm saying. When we have certain shit like this, like, we should be trying to use
for immigrants. That's it.
Reese, hold on, bro. When we have certain shit like this, we should use this time to educate folks because people might not know. So I'm gonna ask you, because maybe you're smart enough to answer it, Trick. If we take those 11 million that you're talking about getting rid of, does it hurt? Because I've heard people say that immigrants are the reason why wages stay down.
Yes.
False narrative.
Okay, man. I tried to ask you. You didn't want to answer. So let him answer.
You know what? The actual what did they say? 15. Well, I'm sorry. They say 11, but there's research that say 15 to 20 million have crossed. The answer is we don't know.
Well, I can't
because
I do know.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. We don't know because we don't know the capacity to which those people have integrated in society. The normal flow of people that were coming that could be corralled and given jobs and given programs, that is now spiraled out of control. Wasn't it that the entire jail population of Venezuela was released and now into the United States?
That is factual information.
That's what now we have a sort of hyper infestation of people that weren't coming before that are here.
It's not true.
ICE just came out with a report. Trigger can pull it up.
That they let every prisoner out the jail.
It may be hyperbolic.
Trigger, you can pull it up, bro. It's 11,000. It's 13,000 people convicted of murder. 15,000 convicted of the R word, and 400,000 people with felonies. That's a fact. ICE.
Showed up here on the Uber last week.
Can we still answer one question? No, let's answer the one question. We have some actual evidence of what deportation might do, right? Obama sent back maybe 11 million.
800,000 per year.
What happened to the economy? What happened to the economy when he did that?
That's what I was about to answer. Actually, that's incorrect. That's actually incorrect. Wages grew under the last 2 years of Barack Obama. Once he actually started to push for the deportation, you can actually look it up. I was going to put it in the back chat, but wages grew a little over 1.3%. That's actually what happened. So there was a boom to the economy. I can't say it was necessarily directly related to the deportation, but they went hand in hand.
But no, AP, it was because it's a reason that Obama had the lowest before Donald Trump. He had the lowest unemployment rate because people in America was actually working because they had to get a competitive wage. That it's a reason that deportation. If we look at deportation and we look at the unemployment rates, the unemployment, it goes hand in hand. So I get that we don't want to acknowledge.
That goes back to what Traylon was saying, though, not to cut you off, about that border patrol that Harris supposed to take care of.
Yeah, but what are you talking about?
I mean, listen.
Edward Munija is the one.
We don't know yet. I was going to say the only thing. Hold on, y'all. Let's not argue those points that those are from the past now. What the answer to Bean's question is we don't know. because now the immigration is so out of control. We can't control the way those people integrate into society.
Yeah, well, we got
deporting them. I was gonna say, so we won't even know which ones are we deporting. The other end of that spectrum is, if you look at the whole in the job, is that there are 3 jobs to every American, because there are people that won't take them. The normal Americans won't take the jobs that's here. So if those people take it, I was like, we're gonna have to do a lot more research to figure out exactly who would benefit from staying here and who they can just deport. And I don't think they even have the ability to make those.
But Trigger,
that type of discrimination.
But Trigger, I think what we gotta acknowledge,
we need to start deporting some of these citizens. Honestly,
I got you. But what we want to acknowledge is most illegals when they come here legally can't work. They can't work.
Yeah, they work minimum wage.
They can't work
under the table.
Listen, McDonald's
they work under the table jobs, minimum wage.
No, listen. The whole point,
they ain't taking your black jobs, whatever the hell that is,
bro. I get what you're trying to say, but this idea, I really hope you guys go in and pull the DSH system, like the DSH system of illegal immigrants that actually.
But hold on.
Oh, go.
No, we do need to acknowledge it, because what you said is that they work under the table jobs, but then you have to look at the crisis in New York right now. There's a crisis in New York because all of the migrants need to go to school during the day. Now the school education has downgraded because students don't have seats because the migrants are there. There is a complete analysis that need to be done on the benefits and risks of integrating migrant people.
Trigger, can I give my opinion what they should do?
Hold on. These same people that cannot work are now drawing tax benefits, i.e. free school and all of that. And maybe messing with your kids' education. Because you said they can't work, they don't generate or pay tax into our system, nor our health care, but we're giving them food stamp cards and letting them sit with our kids.
Exactly. Thank you, Mike.
And so that's what makes you hate them, right? That's what makes you hate them?
No,
that's not hating them.
It sounds like you hate them.
No.
They're getting certain benefits, and now all of a sudden you're jealous. You're jealous.
Let me read the super chat, and I'm gonna give y'all my reason. You doing that you doing a Democrat thing right there.
It sounds like jealousy. It really do.
No, you're trying to weaponize shame.
That's why you hate them, because they get free.
You try to weaponize shame.
They get food stamps. They get food stamps.
All right, let me read these super chats. My man Maurice Benz, $5 says, scam tripping. The illegals are in minority communities killing the local budget's welfare. This results in higher taxes. Maurice Benz again with the $5 says, Kenny, stop the cap. Biden and Bill signed the 94 crime bill. Your friend's 3 strikes is because of Biden. He got a point. Life in jail for nonviolent crime.
What does he got a point if I use that same paradigm and I said they did that bad on that end?
All right.
That's a pretty bad, man. I mean, let's go.
Wait. I gave both paradigms of how both did bad, and then I ended.
Taking an article out of the newspaper is not the same as putting a whole generation of men in jail. It's not the same.
Yeah. All right, let me get these read. Maurice Benz with the $5 says, Reese, you give corporations tax breaks for jobs going into the recession. Tariffs are needed to push up our GDP. China will be the next superpower in 4 years.
Biden kept a lot of those tariffs. Biden kept a lot of those tariffs.
They kept them in place.
The thing is going too far, though. Trump wants to go too far. He's going too far.
Not Gary Grant, $5 Canadian says, what up, Trigger? Very interesting subject. Would love to join the convo. Cam up real quick so I know it's you, and I'm gonna let you up and let you take my spot in a second. Let me get my goddamn. Y'all arguing this shit. Y'all making me remember why I quit podcasting in the first place. Y'all think argue. I don't think we got Fox Die in there. My bad. Fox, go ahead. You go first.
You like voting so damn much. Take a vote. You or Reese. Who do we want to replace?
Yes, that's right.
Don't give. I'm biased. I'm gonna take
supporters up here. You got a whole bunch of Trump supporters up here. You need some Harris supporters. A bunch of MAGA people up here.
We don't mind the Harris supporters.
Don't give me a choice.
It's an echo chamber. It's an echo chamber.
I'm gonna use my teacher.
If you leave, it's still 3 Harris supporters.
Yeah. Go ahead, Fox. Go ahead.
I see Kenny.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I know people have their emotions. I like my man Traylon with the hat on. Express yourself. You shouldn't care about shame. I think us as a black people, we like to shame each other on our thoughts and opinions and views. But we got to stop that because that's bullying. And And then what you do is when you do that, you actually promote what you don't want, because karma is a real thing. So like Trigger, I appreciate everything you're saying, because I've had these conversations with my students, and I know you had it with yours. But honestly, we got to do better. A vote for Trump, I'm not gonna lie, seeing that the DEI, and he knows what I'm talking about because he's a teacher like me. I gotta remember pronouns. I think Trump is probably gonna be a good reset, especially for women. It's gonna be a good reset. Like and even if she gets in there, it's gonna be a good reset, because that's gonna be a civil war ×2, in my opinion.
What are you talking about?
So I'm gonna leave that there, or as my friend would say, put the duck out. But great show, bro. Keep it going. You and the network. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Hey,
All right,
Trigger, can I ask you a question before yours? Go ahead.
Real quick. Let me get this last super chat done and get your question. Dating pool roast reaction with the $5 says, "Black men, please read. It's embarrassing that y'all have no facts about what the Democrats have done for this country and the blacks in the last 4 years." Wait, did I?
So Republicans are y'all saviors, right?
That's Healy Queen, I believe.
They're y'all whites in China armor.
Reaction
Your knights in China armor, the Republicans.
Hold up.
They've done so much for y'all, right?
Search White House fact sheet blacks. This is a long list of things Biden has done for black people. I'll tell you what, in the last 2 months, he's done a hell of a whole lot twerking for that vote. I'll tell you that. Come on down and have brunch at the White House, you niggers. I'm joking. Election season is always funny, man.
It's gonna be impartial when you got that mic. You know that, right?
Yo, that's crazy. Nah. I'm joking. Let me give y'all my.
Hold on, I want to ask you a question. Then you can ask.
Oh no, my bad. Either man, go ahead.
Let me ask the question. How do tariffs on mostly wood and steel increase the price on chicken?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, first it's tariffs on all goods. On goods, right? What is a good?
No,
a product. A good is a product,
you know
right?
what's crazy? People cherry pick stuff and they truly don't know.
Oh shit,
that's crazy.
Literally every economist are saying the same thing me and Kenny are saying. Every economist.
You listening to CNN? Stop, bro.
No, y'all are smarter than economists. Apparently, y'all are smarter than economists,
bro. Some economists say totally different.
Okay,
from
but
what you're
apparently
saying.
y'all so smart. Y'all smarter than
there
economists.
are
Apparently,
economists that are saying directly against what you're
I don't
saying.
know what university you went to. What university you went to?
Trayline, you was up.
Y'all smarter than economists.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Trig, you know I used to hate bounties.
Maybe y'all should be
I used to hate bounties, bro. I really did, but
no, don't just look mighty.
What's like?
But you have on a MAGA hat is because of how you're voting now. You
truly smarter than economists, Kenny. They're smarter than
bro.
economists.
Kenny, I'm not even a Republican, bro.
I got to tell him
why you got on a
They
MAGA
probably went to
hat?
Harvard or Yale or something.
You don't have to be a Republican to have on a MAGA hat, bro.
No, but Trigger, my point is what we do is we try to broad brush a lot of things, and they didn't. I could tell that Reese ain't read the tariffs and what tariffs was implemented in this country. For him to say that,
he wants a 60% tariff on goods coming from China.
Listen,
is that bad or good?
We don't get chicken from China.
But is that bad or good?
We don't get chicken.
Listen. Eat a man. I'm your Huckleberry. Ask me.
All right.
Ask me why during the pandemic, commerce got slowed down because most people weren't importing and exporting.
That's not my question.
Okay, so I'm building.
What are you talking about?
Okay, Beans.
Let Kenny land.
Okay, so now, ain't no bones in ice cream. That was a song I remember a long time ago. So let's do this. There's a cause and effect for everything. Ask the right questions, you get the right answers. Everything within commodities, all three things that you mentioned are commodities, yes or no?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so are they publicly traded?
Chicken?
You keep throwing out chicken, like, come on.
I just want to know you started that dumbass chicken.
No, listen.
Don't worry, we're gonna be paying more taxes on the Trump regardless.
Eat a man, you got this. You got this one. You don't even got to keep pushing it. You got this one.
Okay, so the point that I said before, if whatever time that you want to point out as for when you want Trump to go in there and say we're gonna undo deals, that took time to do. There has to be a reason that we have those deals in place. And I've yet to hear you address why we haven't. We're just buckling under and giving them the benefit of the doubt when we're the standard of the world. What do we have in place that we're sweetening the deal by giving them these concessions? I've yet to hear you address that, but I hear you.
Either man, don't do it.
I commonly hear you just push stuff out. When
they love their leader, Trump. He's their leader.
Okay, Kenny.
He's their cult leader.
When you're at the table and you're doing business deals, not every deal goes in your favor. Sometimes you have to give
just say your own
more
name?
than you get.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
What are we doing here? This is crazy.
So now, no, there's Kenny and there's Kenny. So when you're negotiating at high levels and you're doing stuff in other countries, you may sweeten the pot by giving them a certain deal. But the big play is to make sure that you have your boots on the ground, you have your embassies there, you have trade partners where I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah, the thing about it, Kenny. So this is how it is, right? Whenever you do international business, you have to understand the culture of the place. You have to know how, because what is corrupt in America might not be corrupt over there. So you gotta know the culture so that when you do that business, like in some country, you rub my hand, I rub your hand. Some country, you rub my back, I rub your back. So you gotta know how to do something so that way when you do that business, you sure to do it the way they do it. Just like United States place embassy in some countries, some US embassies are small, some are big. Those things are dependent on the deal that is signed because not every country will allow you to build a big embassy and put a Marines on it. You see what I'm saying? But you do it because there are things that you have to give them, and then there is things that they have to give you. So it's trade-off. Every business, every embassy, every diplomatic stuff is always a trade-off. You can't just come there and muzzle people. No, you can't do that.
So the whole I gotta go. Appreciate you having me, Trigger Mike. This is an interesting show, but just to let y'all go, most food is actually produced inside the Americas. Some exotic foods that we would say that's not, but like Idaho.
That's not true. Most of the food people eat made in the damn lab somewhere.
Okay, cool. A lab in America, cool. The whole point that I'm trying to help y'all say, saying is that we're trying to blame a lot of things that we don't understand the correlation because we're trying to make points. And I can't believe that I'm agreeing with Beans. A lot of y'all done heard a lot of talking points. Y'all don't read, and y'all just saying some stuff because y'all think that makes sense, and it sounds like y'all sound like fools.
I can't take you seriously after I just broke down how people negotiate.
All right. This is gonna go forever.
Back to that.
I guess the majority of economists are fools.
Someone
I guess so.
They never took that course.
This is gonna go forever.
We should listen to Either Man Williams.
Let me get mine off.
All these economists, they're wrong. Okay.
God damn,
you just talked about yourself in third person?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know if it was me.
Oh my God.
Let me get mine off. Then we're gonna get Gary Grant in here. Then we're gonna start on final thoughts because my ass is tired. And my kids go to school super fucking early. All right, look, man. How do I benefit from my vote? I'll tell y'all this. Before I say anything, let me tell you, I believe that I am smart enough to isolate an advantage for myself, no matter who the fuck is in office. I've told y'all many a time that I really admire Asian people. I am a U.S. citizen. I'm ethnically Nigerian.
Racist.
Hold up, shut up. I'm ethnically Nigerian, but I'm functionally Asian. I move around this bitch like an Asian person. I'm Chinese. I'm telling you. You remember that episode of Atlanta where he's like, no, I might be in this skin, but I'm actually a white man? Nah, I'm actually an Asian man. I just look like a Nigerian dude. All right. And what I mean by that, if y'all notice, Asian people don't vote. They have less than 1% of representation in any government, local, state, or federal in the United States of America. And they are economically the number one group in the United States of America. They don't give a fuck who's in office. They isolate an advantage for themselves either way. So that's why I take after their example. I'm functionally Asian. So no matter who the hell is in office, I'm gonna be all right. But what I will tell you is I cannot vote for Kamala Harris, to keep it true to the title of this show. A vote for against her is a vote for self-preservation. And that's in the beginning. There is an agenda by the Democratic Party to remove the heterosexual black male father figure. I'm sorry, the male father figure from the home and from society. They want to disempower you, and they want your permission to do it. They want you to be okay with being removed from your natural position in life. That's why I can't fuck with them. Another reason, they expect you not to be smart enough to figure out what they're doing. Everything they do is politically charged. Y'all heard about $20 minimum wage, right? I believe it's already implemented in California. A $20 minimum wage will tank almost every single small business in the United States of America. No small business owner can afford to pay any of their employees $20 a fucking hour. Only big corporations will be in business if that's ever law, federal law. Nobody ever talks about that. You can only afford to pay market rate. CNAs make $11 or $12 an hour. You cannot afford to pay them anymore, especially if you have to give them health care. Right? So it's just these policies that I see. But moreover, this is a vote for the kids, man. The Democrats have sold their soul to women and to gays. They have. The second that I saw a drag show at an elementary school, that was it. That pushed me over the edge. The fact that I keep telling y'all that they're trying to remove you from your position, the only people that would have a fundamental problem with teaching sex to children are their fathers. So they got to get you out the way to do stupid shit like that. Because if you're trying to bring a kid, a drag queen to my kid's school, me and all the other black, white, Indian, Hispanic daddies are going to stand at the door and say, over my dead body. That's why they got to get you out the way. And they want you to move out of the way willingly. And that's why I can't vote for these people. In order for my own image to be preserved, in order for me to be in my natural position in my family, I have to preserve myself, unfortunately, with my vote. I have to. This is a vote for me. I don't see myself represented in any of your agenda. You are telling me fuck me to my face, and you expect me to be okay with it. Now I know we can go for hours on all the bad shit the Republican parties has done, all the racist shit. That's why this has nothing to do with that. I would agree with everything you say, but at least they're not doing some of the shit the Democrats are doing. You can't move me out of my way. The Democrats are anti-traditional family. And I come from a traditional family. So that's all I got on that. Gary Grant, let's get you in there.
Good night, my brothers. There's a very interesting thing. I can't understand how somebody could vote for Kamala when you don't even know what she stands for. You expect somebody who can't even hold an interview with a disagreeing party to run your country? That's crazy, my brothers. I know a lot of people are against Trump, that Trump's this, Trump's that. But consider, before that COVID thing, America was I can't even say, they were so far ahead of everybody that everybody was lifting up. The amount of people that came out of poverty in those first 2.5 years when he was running the country has never been done in the history of your country. I hear you guys talking about January 6th coup. I got a couple of African brothers on the panel here. Please explain to these people what a real coup is. All that was a violent demonstration, and Black Lives Matter was 100 times worse. So to think of that you're going to judge Trump for, he put up an ad that these 5 guys should go to jail, the Central Park 5. Understand at that time, everybody wanted them to go to jail. Whether you were black, white, Indian, or Chinese. I was around at that time. Because I don't know about you guys that didn't know about the violence that was going down. I hear everybody talk about the 94 crime bill. Do you know who was the biggest purveyor of that? Black people. Believe it or not. They wanted it more than anybody because of what was going on. A lot of people weren't living in the inner cities at that time. You brothers are a little younger. In the 90s and the late 80s, the violence, you could not walk through Central Park without your mugging fee. I went to Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. You can't walk around. Little old ladies was getting hit over the head for their welfare check. That's how bad it was. Understand? So when, like, I love the revision history. Oh, we go back to 94. 94 was sick. Those times was crazy. Nothing, like, I know you all think now is bad. They couldn't even keep the murder stats back then. There was so much of it. Now when we have 500 people dying in Chicago, oh my God, that was happening in every major city in America at that time. So, brothers, for your own good, I vote for Trump. At least you know he stands on business. You can't vote for somebody that you don't know what they stand for, and vote for somebody that's a failure. Look at where you all are today. Just think about it. 2018, everybody, what position were you in compared to what position you're in today? I know people with money, it doesn't really affect them. But most of the brothers here are working brothers and have families. So when you're paying $5 for a carton of eggs and you got 3 kids, bruh, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 don't go a long way. Not when you got to put gas in your car. Always vote for your own sake, not for a party, for your own sake, what affects your wallet. A businessman will run things properly for you. These people, if somebody's just going on abortion and women's right and we just got to do it and don't have a plan, and you're thinking of casting your vote for that person to lead you, that's like the blind leading the bland. That's all I got to say, brothers. You all have a good night, man.
I appreciate that, Gary. All right, fellas, I'm tired as fuck. Let's get final thoughts in there, Beans.
Hey, I gotta say this, Trigger Mike, man. You can't bring
God
us
damn,
austere. You can't
you went
bring us austere, man, and then keep us dry after 2.5, almost 3 hours. If you sleep, go to sleep and let Mr. Payne handle this stuff for you. Yeah, man, you can't just give us two. You know how long you've been gone for a whole year? Now you want to keep us high and dry?
No, we're gonna do part 2. How about that for you?
Just chill out, man. You know what?
God
Go ahead,
damn.
Trigger Mike, man. Go ahead.
The African interrupter. God damn.
So dope show, man. Appreciate you. I want to apologize for when I had my back and forth with the other cat, but I can't because he deserved it. But my man AP, what up though? Ekene, Traylon, Kenny, Payne, Trig, everybody else could suck it. Gary Grant.
My boy.
Say this, man. Grant is cool with me, but I'm just so tired of this lie about black people supporting the crime bill. It's so stupid to me when this argument is made, because right now there's a whole political party that's running around saying shit that y'all don't agree with. And 30 years from now, if somebody say that y'all agree with it just because they was espousing it, you're gonna be able to say out loud, well, just because they were saying that shit don't mean we agree with it, right? Black people, I heard it. Trigger might asked us earlier, how many times have you been polled, right? How many of you were polled during the 94 crime bill and asked if you supported it, right? I'm pretty sure none of y'all, right? So we just, sometimes these bullshit narratives that y'all use to try to espouse your political rhetoric, it's not worth it, man. Just tell people to support the candidate that you want them to support because you support it. Really, because that's all y'all motherfuckers really got. Y'all don't be reading, y'all don't be knowing shit. Y'all can't answer no questions that us people who really want to know have. You duck them, you tell us, now I'll go learn it and all that other shit. It is what it is. And it was a lot of black people, outspoken black people, who were against certain elements of that crime bill, specifically the 3 strikes and the death penalty part of it, right? but they were asking for something to be done. They were asking for a bill, but that don't mean they were asking for the outcome. So let's just be fair about that part. But Trig, it's good to have you back, man. We need more of this. And I forgive you for being African.
I forgive you too, you nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Kenny, final thoughts, man. 30 seconds, not like a fucking filibuster 2 minutes like Beans.
I ain't gonna do it. I think a big thing is people need to read and not just read at face value. Look in the context. Look at cause and effect before they come up here flapping their gums and letting their dementia tell them what really is going on. You do have to look at your best interest, but be careful, because at the end of the day, you're going to vote your best interest. It's just not to alienate your brother and sister, because at the end of the day, we all got to live together no matter how heated we get regarding people that could give two shit about how we eat or sleep, because they got two breads and a loaf and a sausage under each arm. They can give damn about us. We just peons walking in the street. But we have to be convicted about something. I know what my convictions are, and I stick to my guns, good, bad, or indifferent. So I still respect all your brothers for having a point of view rather than just being a lemming and letting somebody follow you. I mean, hold your hand and tell you where to go, because we are grown men at the end of the day, and we could agree to disagree on points. I wish y'all well, and I want everybody to have an awesome week.
My man, appreciate that. Hey.
Yeah, man. Trigger Mike, man. I was in bed, man, when I saw you came live. I said, damn, I gotta get out of bed, man, because I was like, I was trying to give my dementia a little bit of ease right there. So I had to get up, man, and talk to you a little bit, man. Listen,
stay here for this.
Your premise was all I needed to say. You spoke it real eloquently about the Democrats and how they look at heterosexual men. One of my things, a victory in this election for me, is to see that the numbers of Black men, in terms of percentage, reduced drastically for the Democratic Party. I think if we can get it down to 50% or less, maybe even 70%, but anything less than that, I'd be happy, because that means we've broken their demonic hold on us as a party. And I think we need to do that. I think we need to start demanding shit out of any party in order for them to get our vote, for whatever it means to you. I think that the fact that we blanketly gave out votes for years. Now, I've been doing that. I've been voting since I was 18. Shit, I'm 66 now. And I'm an idiot, because I didn't think about, this shit ain't getting us nowhere. But you know what somebody said, and I think it's just me, who says that, as long as you get a revelation, it doesn't matter how long it takes to get it, as long as you do. And that's not necessarily true, because sometimes time matters. And if I can save some young people from just giving their votes away, they don't have to vote Democrat or Republican, but just think about what you're doing and see what you're getting out of it as a person or as a community, as a family, from the people you put in office locally and at the federal level. And then, make your decisions based on that, not just because somebody told you this is what we've been doing for years.
Right.
Just land it there.
Appreciate it. Ikene, final thoughts.
This is where I stand. Trump win, Kamala win. I'm always going to do good in business. It doesn't matter to me. In fact, I'll grow much more, because guess what? I want to see a Black defense industry. I want to see a Black engineering industry. That's what I'm pursuing for. And I want to see more Black people doing things regardless of who won. Either one that wins will always do good for business, because America is an enterprise. It's never a country. It's a nation of enterprises. That's what I know. But I gotta say this: no matter who won, none of them should win majority of Black vote. We gotta send that message. It doesn't matter if Kamala Harris wins; she gotta lose a lot of Black votes to send message to Democratic Party that guess what, we are serious. Trump win, he has to win a little bit of majority of Black votes so that he can know that he needs Black votes to win. You see what I'm saying? So we got to send that message. Kamala Harris has to lose a lot of some Black vote, close to 60%, will vote for her, I'll be much happy. Trump wins more than 20%, I will be very happy because guess what? Now the electorate has changed. Now the system has changed so that they won't take black vote for granted or think that black vote is going to give them the power to make more gay rules, homosexual rules among students, among pupils doing things in school or deciding what gender they want to be without parental consent. So many things. I just can't name it because it's a lot. But they can't get away with it anymore. They have to come on their knees working on those grasses. Oh no, those glasses, like Kevin Samuel said, but without the other end, begging us for our vote. They gotta work on those glasses to come and beg us. Work on those broken glasses to come and beg us for our vote. They can't have that vote anymore. I personally, I don't want to vote for presidency this year. Let other people vote for presidency because none of them are my candidate. But I will vote for Senate because I want Ted Cruz out of that office. Ted Cruz is a son of a bitch. I want him gone. That's the only thing. That's the only person I'm going to go there out just to vote against. Just to vote against Ted Cruz. Once I vote against him, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, vote your heart, vote your wallet, vote your race. But don't vote for your race. Vote so that your race will make a difference. That's all I gotta say.
Damn, I don't think Ted Cruz is gonna lose, but
He's gonna lose. You see, Hispanic vote is half because that guy is black and Hispanic. Ted Cruz is white and Hispanic.
already is Hispanic.
Now, yeah. His mom is Hispanic, his dad is black, and he's a football. He's former
And his
football
wife is
player.
white. You just went,
And
damn,
that's what I'm telling you. That's why he's ahead of Ted Cruz
damn.
by 52 by 4 points now.
Okay, we'll
He
see.
won all the white neighborhood in Dallas by huge margin when he was running for Congress. He won the whole white neighborhood in Dallas.
So let's see if we can get somebody that understands the concept of a 30-second final thought. Trey, you got it, bro.
Nah, man, I enjoyed the Powder Gray show. Trigger Mike, like I said, everything, when you go do the research on the Democratic Party, when you look at every speech Kamala has given, when you look at their policy, there's nothing for masculine men. She has not even mentioned men, not one time.
Not
Not
once.
And so on that and that alone, like I don't see the point that my brother Trigger Mike is trying to convey to everybody. How y'all don't see it is obvious. When you look in the school system, you look at anything involved with the Democratic Party, even back in the day when they started taking the rights from the men, it all started from the Democratic Party, man. So you know what I mean? I'm not even a Republican, but I understand for this particular, I'm a conservative, but for this particular presidency, I'm going for Trump because I feel like he's the best for the country overall.
All right. Appreciate that. Short and sweet. Reese, let's see if you can match that.
Listen, okay. All this stuff about the Democrats want to take the man away from the family and they want to support the LGBT community. Okay, yeah, to a sense, I agree with that. But so are Republicans. Just like I told you, half of Republicans agree with homosexual marriage. So it's not the 50s and the 60s no more. The whole conservative stuff, that don't exist no more. It's a lot more. Each party is gray. It's more gray area. It's not red or blue. It's gray. Everybody's a liberal these days. So, and another thing, Trump, he's just looking out for the wealthy. That's all he does. He's not going to build the middle class. He's not going to lift up the lower income families, the single mothers. He's not going to do anything for them. He doesn't even know what the hell his healthcare is going to look like. He has a concept. So if you think he's going to be good as a president for the next 4 years, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. All I know is if you elect this man as president, there was a reason he didn't get reelected in 2020. I don't know why we have amnesia, but there was a reason he didn't get reelected. So if you want to reelect him now, 3 years from now, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear nothing.
All right. Gary, final thoughts.
Short and sweet. Does everybody remember the contract with Black America? Ice Cube had that plan. Ice Cube met with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said, "We'll consider that." I remember Joe Biden said, we'll talk about that after we get elected. They've been elected for 4 years. They have never met back with Ice Cube. That's all I got to say. So they care about black people.
They gave Ice Cube hell for that too.
The women gave him hell.
I remember that. All right, Scam. Final thoughts, bro.
Conclusion of 2024 is Dustathon. I sit here and listen to a lot of people complain about stuff that doesn't make no sense, ain't true, ain't even close to true, and don't mean nothing about nothing. Legal's whooping your ass. I get it. I can't help you. The reason you got your problems and whatever you want, let's be real. You're talking about a collective, a black collective, but every time somebody says something, the first word you say is I, and it's what you want. You're selfish. You don't care about yourself, black people, or the families, or the women, men's nothing. And somehow everything that go wrong is women or some gay dude got something to do with it. Knowing this is a male-dominated society and men run everything. But you complain about some illegals that you ain't never even met. You can't even talk to them anyway. You speak another language and you can't beat them. You're worried about some gays. I mean, if you got fondled when you're 15, hey, man, I understand. But other than that, no matter who wins or who won 2012, 16, 08, they were gay then. There was women's whooping that ass then, and it's the same thing. The problem got to do with you in the mirror, you at the buffet, you not making yourself a better person. You want to make some money? Find out what the people really doing and put yourself in that position. Or grab a microphone, complain, whine, and just show yourself and say, oh, that's where the problem is right there. This is the problem with America. Bunch of people whining and crying that won't do nothing. All right, legals continue whipping their ass. That's all I got. Dust and crust as usual.
Nice. My man AP, take us out.
So I think every brother on this panel had added something to the conversation. I've disagreed with Scam. I apologize for calling you out your name, brother. I've disagreed with Beans a many times.
We're good.
I've apologized to Beans before, but tonight we're on similar accord. And I think, for the most part, as Black folks, we need to do, I think Kenny said it earlier, we need to do our research and read. And then, as Gary said, pick the person for you. Pick the person that you think is going to benefit your family. But as I always say, don't do it out of blindness or some kind of weird loyalty or out of a piece of misinformation. Oftentimes we say shit and we don't know what we're talking about. And some of us will put it in the back chat so you know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm just saying. But I really appreciate having this conversation with you gentlemen. And again, this will be the first year I vote for Trump. I'm openly saying it. And hopefully, as E-Man said, hopefully we can return to a sense of normalcy. Because right now shit is out of whack. And I appreciate you, Trigger Mike.
No doubt, my man. I appreciate that, everybody. I don't see how she wins this shit. You see how many black people like I'm voting? They saying that shit out loud. They're not even keeping it to themselves. I don't see no bumper stickers for this lady, man.
No, because like I said, Trump supporters are the loudest because it's a cult.
God damn, you just not gonna let me talk.
No, it's a cult. That's why y'all the loudest. It's a cult.
They're not the loudest.
Trump
they're
supporters
the
is a cult. That's why y'all the loudest. Y'all all over
hey,
social media.
You know what, Reese? No, let me not even do that to you.
All over YouTube. Talk about Trump, MAGA this, MAGA that.
No, let me tell you why I disagree with that, Reese. Let me tell you why I disagree with that. Prior to me becoming a conservative, I thought, because I was engineered to think, that conservatives / Republicans were the meanest, most outright, just if you go against them, they will hurt you. Like, I thought they were violent about that shit.
But Trigger, I'm not talking about Republicans.
Hold on. No,
I'm Trump supporters. There's a difference.
I thought they were the loudest. That's not true. Because now that there's such a powerful black coalition, I realized that the actual violent people and the people that will disparage your character for not being like them are actually the Democrats.
Absolutely.
All you gotta do is
hold on.
All you hear is an
like I
echo
said at
chamber
the
of Trump
beginning, bro.
supporters.
Hold on, bro.
All you gotta do is
If
go on
you
YouTube.
are a black man that just wants to have an objective conversation about not voting Democrat, and while you are on the fence, you will be thrashed by simps and black women, bro. They are so violent. Hold on. They will demean your character as if you don't know who your mama is. I ain't never had no fucking Republican white person do that shit to me. None of them ever did that shit to me.
Why do I see so many black YouTube channels supporting Trump? You, Anton Daniels, Chaotic Truth. Every black YouTube blog or stream I see, they support Donald Trump. Why?
And you name 3?
Because it's a cult. It's a fad. It's popular.
And, oh, you know what?
It's a popular thing to do. Support Trump.
We're not simps,
it's a fad. It's a cult. That's what it is. It's hip. Oh, he's free Kodak Black.
You know what?
He's cool.
All 3 men that you just married, hold on. All 3 men
went
that
to
you
prison.
Just mentioned, we're all married, and we don't need a black woman's pussy to survive. So we don't have no problem.
It's a cult.
No, we have no problem voting against them. I ain't trying to fuck them no more, so I don't need to side with them.
Don't lie there, Trigger Mike, because you got a wife. You know you're trying to fuck every night, just like me.
Donald Trump is black because he went to prison.
Black women.
Come on, Reese, man, stop, man. What's this scope?
Like this
black, Donald Trump is black.
Because
Reese,
think everybody black.
Reese, the only cult is the Democratic Party.
It's cool.
They got you so gassed up. Don't you understand? Like you too young.
It's in style.
For 60 years, they've had you gassed up.
Negroes on YouTube supporting Trump.
Hold up, y'all. Reese, did you not understand that you're making my point of what I just said?
That's what I'm saying. It's cool and it's in style. That's all it is.
Because we not voting for Kamala Harris, you are demeaning our character, and we don't know where our mama came from.
Because I see 1 million black YouTubers supporting Trump. I see 1 million black YouTubers supporting Trump.
But you only named 3.
I named the 3 most popular ones on YouTube.
No, well, okay. All right, since you got 1 million, give us 4 more. Okay, you already named those 3.
I see on YouTube.
Are you serious, bro?
I'm on YouTube every day. I see
black YouTube is 0.0001% of YouTube. These dust panels represent 0.0% of YouTube.
Nah, I'm tired. Reese, you gotta go. Breeze, you gotta go. That ain't gonna go all night. All right, Breeze, man. Thanks for holding that shit down.
Hey, take care there, brother Trigger Mike. Good to see you back, man. We'll always be here supporting you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, Beans. I'm out. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming to the Trigger Mike show, man. This was one hell of a topic. Let me actually tell y'all something. I don't care who you vote for. These topics need to be talked about by people in general. We're all American citizens. This is what we are supposed to do. I saw a clip from Neil deGrasse Tyson the other day. He said, when the hell did we start trying to convert people to have our opinion? When we were young, it just used to be, I have my opinion and you had yours. We were never trying to convert people to come to our side just to like them. I respect everybody that has an opinion. And somebody said it on the panel, I forget, so I can't quote you. But I just want you to know, and I want to encourage everybody to understand why you are voting. Don't vote for her because she's black. Don't vote for her because she's a woman. Vote your interests, your conscience. Think about what you want for you and your family. And that's all I ask. We can have civil discourse about this anytime. All right. So thanks everybody for coming and contributing to the Trigger Mike show. No matter who the hell you're voting for, thank you. And I appreciate your patronage to the Lapeef Network and this great program. I'll catch y'all next time, man. I'm out.